Alright, howdy y'all, and welcome to the Michigan International Speedway. Looks like we got a small turnout this afternoon. Excuse me, as the guys are wrapping up qualifying here. Beautiful weather here at the Speedway for this action-packed Speedway. Ooh, I like that paint scheme there, Dustin. That is beautiful. Of course, Cooper running the Christmas paint scheme once again. Brantley back in the William Byron-inspired paint scheme. Thomas in the Folgers throwback paint scheme, it looks like. And of course, last but not least, James Jones in the Hardy Simshot Outcast Hardy Design Chevrolet. And Frank Skimmerhorn rounding out the 5 that are on track currently. Still waiting on Jeffrey Herrick to make his appearance if he will make it on time this afternoon. As we should see cars lining up for getting ready for qualifying here. Let me There we are. We are back live. And we got 5 seconds left before you see qualifying underway. 5 cars on the field this afternoon. Dylan Gonez joins as well. Good to see him.
Yes, yes.
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Good, man. Good.
Small turnout this afternoon.
Yeah, that they got a bunch of people. That's pretty much the reason I hopped in here. It's gonna be a small field tonight, but we couldn't. It was when we found out about it, we couldn't push the race back. So it is what it is.
True that. I mean, so are you going to be shortening it all because of the small field, or we're going to keep it full length?
Uh, we we may we're not gonna shorten it, but we might throw a halfway caution or something like that to keep the field together.
Yeah, because it's easy for the field to get spread out here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. We might.
So
It depends on the cautions and how the field is. We might throw a halfway caution. We might do a little something to spice it up, being it's only 5 6 cars. But we'll see. Might throw in a little wrench to mess you up. And
of course, per usual.
oh yeah.
How was the track under practice conditions? Was
Oh,
it?
it's actually pretty good. They updated the setups today in the update, so cars actually feel pretty good. They're not tight like they usually are on bigger tracks like this. So hopefully it'll
Yeah, I
add
see
for
that
some great
watching
racing.
Jones on track. That turn 2 exit normally is pretty aggressive. You got to put a lot of wheel in it, but it didn't seem like he really had to turn left off the corner too much like he used
Yeah,
to. Kind of looked like you just kind of can let it kind of roll out like you typically would at any other oval.
yeah. You can really turn it to the bottom of the track now.
Nice. I like to hear that because, man, this was one of those places that was always just a one groove racetrack, which is like the High Line. As you put it
Yeah,
on
you
pole
can.
for the moment.
Yeah, so far Brantley ain't went out yet.
Yeah, we're watching him right now going out here. So, yeah,
This one right here might be a little faster though.
you were talking a little bit about the update. So talk to us a little bit more about it because I haven't been on yet this today to experience it. Is it like noticeably different or is it just you'll know when you feel it?
I mean, it's just pretty much just a setup. Sorry about the baby, but yeah, it's pretty much just set up for the Cup cars. But they changed the aerodynamics on the trucks and Xfinity and pushed out the cross cart and stuff like that. But Cup cars ain't no different. It's just the setups are a little bit better.
Good because we needed good setups for a while.
Big time.
Too many of these setups that they give out are way too tight, and then they just keep getting tighter and tighter and wearing out that right front.
100%. But yeah, I'm about to have to hop back up here. I figured I'd come down here and let you kind of fill you in on the short field.
Alrighty.
Um, Jeff may jump in here right before the race starts, but yeah, I'm gonna hop back over here, give him a little
All
speech,
right,
and
and if he
get
doesn't,
this
tell him
race
to
on.
get his butt in the booth.
We'll do, buddy. We'll
All
do.
right.
All right, man.
That was Dustin Hardy, ladies and gentlemen. As Brantley cannot best Hardy right now, as we have Hardy in P1 for the moment, the 52 of Brantley in second. James Jones, as soon as I say that, Dylan Gonez jumps up to P3, drop Brantley to third. James Jones to fourth, and Frank Skimmerhorn is in fifth as he is wrapping up his qualifying run. And let's see if Dylan's wrapping up his right now. So still have one car that has not made a qualifying run, and looking to see if Jeffrey Herrick makes it to the grid on time. Once again, thanks to everybody tuning in. If you haven't yet, missing Alex in the 72 this week. Unfortunate um, work got the better of him this week, so unfortunately, if your driver is Alex, he is not in the field this afternoon, but he will be back next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed on that one. And we should have qualifying wrapped up, and I do believe the 46 car and Cooper have not qualified. All right, so a little bit of history and track facts for the Michigan. Ooh. It's a D-shaped oval, 2 miles in length. It was originally constructed in 1967, and 2 years later, NASCAR debuted here in 1969. The track is 18 degrees in the corners. It is way wide. You will see these drivers 4 or 5 cars wide. And it is the fastest track on the NASCAR circuit. Long straightaways, long sweeping corners. NASCAR has raced here, the IndyCar Series and the kart have all raced here. So it's a very prestigious racetrack. We look forward to see what we can do as we have the grid rolling off this afternoon. Give me 1 second. I apologize for all this inconvenience. All right, we are once again underway here under the pace laps. As the field is under pace laps, and it looks your starting grid once again on the inside of row 1 in that beautifully redone 17, rocking the Outcast Motorsports Hardy Designs Toyota is Dustin Hardy on his outside. In the Hardy Designs 27 is Dylan Gonez. Behind them in the 52, William Byron inspired Agir Chevrolet, Brantley Bryant. On the outside of him in row 2 will be the 76 Hardy Designs Outcast Motorsports Hardy Sim Shop of James Jones and Frank Skimmerhorn and Cooper running out the back half as we are going green. Slow roll start for our field as the top 3 are single file. Through to Dustin Hardy gets a slight lead out of the corner. Too wide behind him. The 52 of Bryant looking strong early on, as early on in the lead is Hardy, but don't look now. Gonez is looking behind him, trying to find that spot. Gonez trying to make that inside line work. He'll get the run down the front straightaway. Inside to drag race to the line, and I want to say Gonez may have got that lap 1 lead early on. Good racing early on here from the field. As we see, the top 3 have separated themselves from the other 2. As Gonez is looking for that lead once again, thinks better of it. Sorry folks, today is going to be a back and forth camera, just with how the cameras are laid out here around Michigan. So bear in mind, I will be doing my best to keep up as fast as I can. Breakaway for the top 3. Hardy, Gonez, and Bryant, followed by Frank Skimmerhorn in P4 right now. Behind him is James Jones. Behind his is the 75, Jerome Cooper, and then still on pit road is Curtis Thomas in the 46 car. Two-car breakaway with Hardy and Gonez here at the Michigan International Speedway. With a small field, it really won't get too rubbered down until later on in the evening. So, as you heard in the pre-race, before we got going, Dustin allowed us to little insight with his new setups here on iRacing that they just unveiled today. If you haven't, and you know people that are iRacing, make sure they do get the latest update going. It is about a 35 gig update, so bear that in mind. Single file this early on here. Everybody's just running their race right now. Gonez still sitting on pit road, and here is your race leader, the 17 of Hardy. Hardy looking strong this early on. Wow, we have a quick second here. As the battle for the race lead is starting to heat up, Gonez is starting to chop back down on that lead. Our sponsors for this afternoon, as usual, the Southern Speed Shop. If you need setups, go ahead and head over there to Southern Speed Shop and get yourself a setup. And if you have not known, there is a website here for the series, and I will get that to you very shortly, if not next week. And once again, this is the Southern Speed Shop Racing League, live here from Michigan International Speedway. All of our friends over at K Designs. Our friends over at HMS, propane and natural gas appliance needs. Go give Sam Hardy a call or email. And our friends over at Outcast Motorsports for making all this possible. And last but not least, of course, we'd like to thank our friends over at the iRacing.com studios for making this possible week in and week out. Without them, we would not be here. And we are running out of time to get your Christmas bonuses and deals for them. 25% off for returning members and 50% off for new members. And if you do have new members, give them your referral code so you can get paid via iRacing to get more people on track. So go head over to iRacing.com today and get all your sim racing needs and apparel. And we are back as Hardy's still in command of the race lead, stretching it out here early on. as the field has pretty much stayed in line of where they qualified. As we see that battle for the second spot, Bryant takes over that second with a power move on the inside of Gonez. Gonez goes up to his bumper, might try to look on the inside. No, thinks better of it, stays in his tire track, goes to the high side to try to keep that Mustang wound up. That will give the second spot over to Brantley Bryant as he will begin his track to track down the 17 of your race leader, Dustin Hardy here. And this, I can tell you, will shake up the point standing here in the Southern Speed Shop Racing Series very much with very small field this afternoon. So the points will be updated by the time of our conclusion of the event as we see the 27 on the back bumper of the 52, not letting him get away. The 27 gets a good run off the exit of 2 down the back stretch, but gives it away on the entry to 3, which is pretty typical. You don't want to overdrive and get into the person in front of you. So I cannot speak from experience yet about what these cars feel like, so I will take the driver's word on track. But these cars should have more maneuverability in them with better setups. So we should see excuse me, the racing start to heat up here a little bit more, and we may have a half-point caution and some twists and turns just to keep the racing action spicy for you folks watching. As Gonez gets a run on the inside. He's got the inside. No, thinks better of it. Cannot make it stick. Follows in the footsteps. As these two battle, they are actually closing in on your race leader. Down the backstretch we go. Almost a half a second gap between our first and second place driver. Closing in down the backstretch, opening up the gap between Brian and Gonez. Opening it up, and we have some almost 3 seconds from our third place driver to our fourth place of James Jones, and another almost 2 seconds back to him, Frank Skimmerhorn, and another some seconds behind Frank is Cooper in the 75, rounding out your lead lap cars. And unfortunately, I do not know if Thomas is going to make any laps this afternoon. But here we go. That lead is down to only 4 car lengths going into turn 3. Wow. Bryant going high, wide, and handsome like usual. Trying to get that highlight to work, but unfortunately he did lose a lot of track position, getting a little loose off of turn 4. That allows the 27 to close back in on his back bumper. These two are putting on a heck of a show here early on. As our leader, Dustin Hardy, has almost a second advantage over these two. Typical Michigan, that high line is where you want to be running early on. And if all of y'all have not put up your Christmas ornaments and stockings, now's the time to do it with only a couple weeks left until Christmas. And this is the second week of our 3-week stint before we do take a 2-week hiatus for Christmas and New Year. So after next week's race, we will not have coverage until the new year. So bear in mind that as you enjoy the holiday season with your family. I know I certainly will. As these top 3 have put some distance on our fourth place runner of James Jones. Good exit for these guys down the back straightaway. Now, typically here at the Michigan International Speedway, you can hit the 198 mile an hour mark in a draft here, but I don't know with the new setups what they are capable of. So these drivers are looking about 190 miles an hour average speed around this 2 mile super speedway in the Irish Hills of Michigan. As we see, that race lead has been chopped in half. That 52 has found something. As we see our race leader into the wall, that's going to allow the 52 to close on the back bumper of our race leader. This is the most pressure Dustin has been under in quite some time. Sticking to that high side, trying to keep that Camry wound up. He will shut the door on the 52 car. Now, if you're Hardy, you have to look through that rear windshield now, as you got a driver looking who's hungry for another race win, looking to go back to back since our break. And this has allowed the 27 to catch back in ever so slightly, as there's less than a half a car length advantage for our race leader. Dustin goes to about the third lane. Brantley down into the second lane here. You can see how wide this track is. The drivers have so much track to work with. This is one of the widest tracks on the circuit. As Brantley gets a good run, Hardy's going to try to close the door. Arrow wash. He does not want to give this race up, and I will tell you right now, knowing Hardy and the weeks that he's had, he wants this win bad. He's going to be hungry, and he's not going to want to give it up very fast. Brantley going high, trying to get a good arc off the corner. Brantley closing in. He's got that 17 in his crosshairs. Hardy's going to go down ever so slightly, blocking it, putting air, taking that air off the nose of his car, but Brantley dives it even lower off of turn 2, down the back stretch, side by side. He is there. The 52 is looking underneath. He's going to try to go lower. Hardy's going to close him down, not letting him get that arc off the corner. And here it comes. Brantley slides up into the 17, comes back around with a run. No, the 52 comes back around and blocks him as we got a bump draft down the front straightaway. As the 27 has now caught these two back. This is a 3-horse battle once again. It only took about 12 laps for the top 3 to come back together within a couple car ranks. As Hardy looking strong off in turn 2, we have a drag race. Who is the 27 going to go with? He's going to go on the outside, pushing the 52 past the 17 as he looks to go then around the outside of the 17. Gonez looking strong. And now he's going to put the pressure on Hardy to see what Hardy can do to try to get back up there. Hardy goes from our race lead in 1 lap to P3. Lost some track position there, but don't worry, we'll regroup, and if those two in front of him get racing like him and Brantley did, he will catch back up here in no time. And that is the one thing about this track that is really nice, is the draft here works so much in your favor if you are behind cars. It's not so much about fresh air here at the Michigan International Speedway. As long as you keep that draft and that air on the front of your nose, you can be competitive all afternoon long. Hardy's still making that high line work for him. That is where he feels comfortable. As Brantley did not get away as much as I thought he did. 3-4 car lengths at most. And it's equal distance back to our P3. Down this long backstretch. You see how wide, if there is an incident, the drivers can avoid most of these wrecks by using that apron. But I don't think we should see many cautions this afternoon, as looks like Frank Skimmerhorn was passed by Cooper in the 75 car, as it looks like Frank is falling back. Maybe we'll go momentarily to see what happened to Frank. Frank Skimmerhorn looked like he did get into the wall ever so slightly and allowed Cooper to get around him. Let's see what happened to Frank Skimmerhorn here. Cooper's already passed him. Yeah, he just got that run. Center a little too hard and just pushed up into the track as Cooper got around him and kept it off the wall, but that will lose him some track time there. That's what happened to Frank Skimmerhorn. As Jones all by his lonesome. As we got a battle for the race lead, as the 27 did get around while we were in that exchange with Frank, did get around momentarily, but Brantley said no, not having any of that, came back around on that high side. Just zipping line for line, punch for punch. These guys are just going blow for blow, and that has allowed Hardy to close back in like I said it would. These two got racy, and Gonez did not make it easy for Brantley here. Brantley definitely having to do a lot more mirror driving than what we're used to and accustomed to seeing out of that young man. As that battle is just raged on. Gonez making that inside line work about a car and a half off the bottom lane. Brantley in the middle track, and now this little separation between these top two side by side are starting to actually pull away from our third place driver, which is very odd here with a draft. But these two are battling hard for this race lead. Just side by side, lap after lap for these guys. This is impressive here with no help from either of these two. These guys are doing it mono e mono. Brantley gets a good run off the backstretch into the three, but has to give up the race lead to get his car to rotate. That allows Gonez to run right where he wants to in that middle lane. Good racing from these two. Slight advantage that time by. Would give that lap to the 52 of Bryant. Gonez etches out a half car length mid corner. Can he get a good run and potentially close the gap on the 52? No. 52 is going to side draft him down the back straightaways. Pulls even, nose ahead for your race lead. They have traded the race lead as they're going to see a little bit of contact between the two. They're going to go up the track. Still side by side, side drafting. These two are not giving an inch. They've traded the race lead 15 times in the past 5 laps. I do know that they do not count the race lead change until you hit the start-finish line, but these drivers at every football field are back and forth, bumper, bumper, bumper. This is excellent driving from these two, just staying off each other as we see them get into each other, rubbing now. They're going to push you. This 27 is pushing up the track a little bit. 30 laps into this tire run, you're going to start to see a transition period in these cars here as these tires are starting to wear out. You're going to want to run a little bit higher here as the 27 now has gotten around, finally gotten around the 52 to take sole possession of our race lead here, and it's pulled away by about a car length and a half going into 3. Bryant making that high line stick. Gets back to the quarter panel. Can't make it stick. He's going to try to do the crossover. No, can't do it. Give that one solely to the 27 of Dylan Gonez. Gonez looking strong right now. His car handling just like he wants it right now. Did Bryant use up his tires as he's fallen now almost 10 car lengths behind our race leader? As Dylan Gonez is your race leader and has pulled away by over half a second. What is as Cooper gets around Jones, what had happened to Jones? Jones decides, I need tires. I need fuel. He drops it down early on in this run, only 32 laps in. We'll see if he's going to lose a lap here. Let's see if he's going to get tires or if it's just going to be a stop and go. Right side's up on that Camaro as Frank Skimmerhorn decides I need to come down as well. Left side's going on as they do go a lap down in pits road. James Jones, 4 tires and fuel. Looks like Frank Skimmerhorn is going to get 4 tires and fuel as well, and those two will rejoin the track as the 52 comes down pit road, same as the 17. Brian overshoots his pit stall. Once again, right side's up for him. Right side's up for the number 17 car of Dustin Hardy. Now around to the cruiser around to the left side as we see Cooper now decide I need tires. Who gets off? It's going to be a tight battle between these two. As give it to Brantley. Cooper now just gets off pit road. Now our race leader now goes to the attention of his crew, which will be 4 tires and fuel. Going is looking strong early on. Right side's going up for him. Now his crew going around to the left side of the car. The left sides are up. As we see Frank Skimmerhorn get his lap back. Gonez back up and running. Can he get off pit road in time? It's going to be close. The 52 car is at speed as the 27 car is now making his way. He's got to be careful not to go over that yellow line before he hits the blend on the backstretch. It is going to be a close one. Ooh, Gonez is getting a loose, chasing that car. And there's the battle for the race lead between the 52. The 52 is going to go around him as the 27 is not quite up to speed. So good at driving for our race leader. The 52 made that work, undercutted it perfectly. Gonez had a massive lead, but that is what happens here at Michigan. These cars going almost 200 miles an hour. 30 seconds takes an eternity here when you're going 35 miles an hour. As we see our third place runner, some 3 seconds behind the second place runner here, and another 10 back to Jones, and then 4 seconds behind him is our 5th place runner, and another 6 some seconds behind him Frank Skimmerhorn, who still is all on our lead lap. But don't look now, Frank Skimmerhorn had a lap from going down. One more lap. As the battle for the race lead is starting to tighten back up now that the tire pressures are back up for the 27 car. He was clear on that exit of pit road. No black flag there. He is now going to chase down the 52 car. And what I would assume would be a mirror battle of what we just witnessed from these two. Gonez driving that car deep through the corners, trying to track down your race leader. Some 6 car lengths behind him in the entrance of turn 3. Down the front stretch here, still right around about 6 to 7 car lengths down the front straightaway. As the 27 is going to run this high, trying to keep the momentum on the high side as you see Brantley running that low line, wrapping that left front corner on that apron. As there's only now 3 car lengths that separate our race lead. Brian still hugging that inside line. you can run that low line for a handful of laps here at Michigan before those tires get overheated. Yes, typically on most levels that is the fastest way around, but here at Michigan you want to use as much of that turn as you can to keep those tires under you. These corners are very, very long. Some almost 6 seconds you're in the corners here at Michigan. So almost half of your lap time is spent in the corners. As we see this massive dive bomb from the 27, some 4 car lengths close down to just a car length and a half in the entrance, but unfortunately for him, he has some issues. As unfortunately, it does look like Gonas is having some internet issues. Unfortunate for him, and that will put Dustin Hardy in your second spot. James Jones up to fourth. Dylan Gonas, unfortunately, on the pit road. Unfortunate for him, he was having a strong showing. Now, what can our new second place driver do? Some almost 5 seconds off the race lead. That was looking to be a very good battle shaping up between the 27 and the 52, but unfortunately, internet gremlins have plagued a couple of our drivers this season, and unfortunately, the latest victim is the 27 of Gonaz. Unfortunately for him, as he is now a 1 lap down. Now we'll see what the 17 can do it now that he has now got new life. Four and a half seconds out in front of him is your race leader of the 52 car. Still pulling away from your second place runner. James Jones slowly starting to close down that almost 13-second disadvantage he had from Hardy. He's starting to chop it down. Don't look now, but behind him, the 75 of Cooper is closing that gap down from him. And Frank Skimmerhorn is starting to close. Everybody's starting to close down ever so slightly on each other as we approach the quarter way in this afternoon's race. As we see the 75, Jerome Cooper, running all by his lonesome in that P4 spot. And after last week, he wants a podium. So we'll see what he can do as the race goes on. Ahead of him, sitting on that third and final step of the podium, is that 76 car of James Jones. Has been strong all season, and he likes this place. So we can see what he can do here as you start to see the rubber now starting to take effect here through those sweeping turns. We're going to try to do something now that I haven't been able to do all season, but we're going to try it now. James
Oh,
Jones,
dang it, Bobby.
we're checking in
I'm
here
gonna kick your ass.
mid-race. How's
You
it
just
going
scared
out
the
there?
crap out of me. Pretty good.
How's the car feeling?
Good. Just nothing for the top two right now. Just trying to conserve tires.
Yeah, so it looked like the cars have all handled pretty well, but are you guys running out a full length of fuel or?
Yeah, so we got roughly about 33 laps of fuel, so we're all running out the whole fuel stint.
Nice. All right. Well, you wanted this, so this is we're testing it out this week, but we have the time. So,
I appreciate it.
yeah, no worries on that one. We'll see if he will throw a caution here to regroup you guys. There's a huge gap between everybody, so hopefully we'll see that happen. But yeah, no. Talk to us a little bit more about this new update now that you've had some more time. And I asked Dustin earlier about it, and he said you can kind of feel the difference. So
Yeah, you can, but you can't. It'd be nice to get in a big group to see if the dirty air's as bad as it was, if they tweaked it down some or not. But right now, it feels honestly out single car runs. It feels the same.
alrighty. Well, I will let you go back there, and we'll pull a couple more drivers back into the booth and see how their race is going.
Appreciate it.
We are working on getting another driver in here. Just bear with me and mine. We're gonna pull Cooper into here. Jerome, welcome to the booth. We're gonna do our first in-race report. So how's the car feeling this afternoon?
Really good. Thanks for pulling me in, and good evening. Yeah, the tires I didn't change on the first pit stop, and they're still hanging in there, so the car feels pretty stable. A little surprised to be running in fourth, but right now, staying out of trouble and looking good so far. Got a long race to go yet, though.
Absolutely, and I was asking about how the car feels with this new update. So is it as much different as somebody would anticipate, or not as much as you would think?
You know, I don't notice a big difference. It may be a little more stable, so the physics seems like it's a little more stable, but Michigan is such a big, wide track, you may not notice it. But quite honestly, to be honest with you, I don't know if I really feel any real difference, in the physics and or just the whole way the car is handling.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait to test it myself here. But yeah, no, welcome, officially welcome from me to the series, and glad to have you on board with us. So you had a good showing last week, and we look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season.
All right, thank you. Yeah, great to talk to you, and thanks for having me. I'm really enjoying the league, and so far it's been great competition, great people, and looking forward to making an impact, hopefully with the upcoming races.
Absolutely, and hopefully you can improve that one more and hit the podium today. But we'll let you go back, focus on, and try to get that gap a little bit smaller.
Roger, thank you. Have a great night. We'll
Yep,
catch you later.
absolutely. Now I'm going to pull somebody who I haven't talked to in quite some time through here, but we're going to see how that 54 car is doing. Frank Skimmerhorn, you got a copy?
Hello. Hello there, Justin.
How is it going, my friend? It's been a while.
we're not looking good. The pits was bad for that one. I lost a
Ye-
lot of time in the pits.
Yeah, it's okay because the concrete pits. I think everybody overdrives them. So, how's the car feeling? How is Frank liking the new physics model?
It's okay. It's okay. I haven't run this track a whole lot, so it took me, first pit or first round to figure out this top, but I'm starting to get it a little bit, and we get to the break. I think we're going to do a break at halfway. It may get a little more racy after that.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, very small field, but it happens, and yeah, you're in that fifth spot, and I don't want to jinx it now, but you're gonna get a huge boost in the points from this with not a lot of the top
Right.
runners showing up, so that's got to be what you're leaning on here.
Pecking away at it little by little.
Yeah, absolutely, and everybody loves and adores you, Frank. You know this. You're a very consistent race car driver, so we look forward to seeing what you can do with that regroup here in about 44 or 45 laps whenever he decides to throw it. So
Yeah.
we're going to look forward to seeing what you can do with that regroup and looking strong out there, keeping that pretty car clean. And we'll cut you loose so you can go ahead and concentrate.
Thank you very much, sir.
And we are going to pull in momentarily here your new first place runner as we saw Brantley dive onto pit road to go get tires. We'll let the top two finish this cycle before we get going here. We'll see how long Dustin decides to go out as Brantley is some seconds behind him getting those tires regrouped. So we'll see what if Dustin decides to come back down or right in that pit road pit road cycle opening up. So we will see at who decides to go and tires. As our race leader of Dustin Hardy still stays out. We'll see what our second place runner will do. We'll see if Hardy's going to go by pit road one more time. As Jones is starting to close back down on the back bumper of that 52 ever so slightly. As the 52 has closed in a second and a half since he rejoined. If you're our race leader, you're going to see that time starting to tick lower as these laps go on. So we'll see how far that 17 car stretches. He's going to look. No, not this time. He looked like he might have going low on the exit to turn 4, but he's going to stay out and lead one more lap. 17 out front where he wants to be. And I will say something about this paint scheme. It gives me very much a Subway paint scheme from back in the day with the 17 of Matt Kenseth's paint number on that car. Beautiful looking car with the neon green and yellow. But does give me very much a Subway throwback scheme. Don't know if that's what he was going for, but very beautiful nonetheless. We'll see if he drops down this time by... Nope, stayed out one more time. Excuse me. '17 still looking strong. Out front and clean air definitely has its advantages. You can run where you are, and with a gap of 7 seconds or more, you kind of can just put your pedal down and cruise and not think too much of it, but you don't want to get so relaxed that you stop driving to the fullest. So we will see. As we're going to pull Hardy into the booth. Dustin, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's the car feeling? 60 now, almost 63 laps into the race. How's it feeling?
Oh man, I'm just riding. I'm saving tire and much fuel as I can, and trying to keep Brantley behind us now that he spun her out. But we'll see what happens. We're gonna
Ah,
throw us a halfway break here at lap 100, and might throw in a little trick or trick in the middle of that 100. I don't know.
Gotta do something to keep it interesting for the folks at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So now that you put in a little bit more time in there, and I was talking to Frank and Cooper about it. It feels like the cars are a little bit more stable. Is that kind of true? I know you guys were very racy early on, which is kind of surprising to see how many laps that the 52 and the 27 could go side by side. Um, from your advantage sitting behind that, was that typical here at Michigan in your opinion, or was that kind of with the new physics model, kind of just how it's going?
Yeah. No. Before you couldn't do that. I mean, you could do that, but not that long. The cars would get tight, and you wouldn't be able to stay under the other person. You'd end up wrecking them. But yeah, I mean, it feels a whole lot better now.
Yeah, it looks like these cars are a little bit more racy here because I saw you and I saw Brantley making that low line work for quite some time, and I know from my experience here at Michigan that you can get that low line to work for like 2, 3 laps, but you desperately need to get to that high line. Is that the case anymore, or is it kind of more balanced out?
Oh no, you can run any line really and truly now.
Oh, I love to hear that, and I know you like to search for grip as the race goes on. So you
And I
know,
just run out of fuel.
I saw that drop in pace. I was saying that before we pulled you in here that the pit road was open, so we'll see. I would expect, yep, the 52 followed right behind you, and I'm gonna try to pull Brantley into here if it will allow me to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to try this new mid-race report out and see how you guys like it and see how the fans like it. So thanks for jumping in here, and we'll let you get back to it and try to see if you can beat that 52 car back out.
Yes, sir.
Brantley, you got a copy. Justin up in the
Yeah,
booth.
I got you.
So as we approach that halfway point, how's the car feeling for you?
Car feels great. Just absolutely shafted it coming off a Ford. Absolutely may or may not have let go of my wheel. Um, Spun it around. No caution came out, and kept it going. And
Did you fall
going
asleep?
in, no,
No.
no. I was sitting there, and my dad walked by, so I came going to pull in or come in here, and I was talking to him. And I was
Yeah,
sitting around riding with one hand, and I was running the new cross cars earlier. Man, if you ain't race anything in your life, or you just a typical sim racer, you need to run those. Those are the funnest thing on the service, hands down.
absolutely. I am so pumped that they are on the server. It's about time we have a new dirt road car. It's been, ooh, shoot, what, 3, 4 years since we had a
That's
new one
look,
come
man.
out?
I'm on the same boat as you. I mean, we haven't had a new dirt off road track or a dirt car. It feels like in forever. It's needed.
Yeah,
It's needed
absolutely.
for sure.
And hopefully now with that, a lot more people, saying what me and you both. I love dirt road, but I just got bored of it because there wasn't enough variation. So hopefully now we have a little bit more variation coming in. maybe a little rework on the Pro 2 and Pro 4s possibly coming here in the new year. So that'll be exciting. And while we're talking racing, I know that you are going to, for your second consecutive week in a row since our break, can you make it 3 and go between break to break?
I'm hoping so. I know there's been talks about a Jim France caution about 100, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we need to do something.
Uh,
The field is so spread out with a small field,
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, I mean, I've been having fun. This is one of my happier tracks that I'm happy with. Other than last week, I don't know how I ended up pulling that off. I hate that track. And then they rescan it this week. That's the best part.
Yes, I am.
This week you get a brand new track, and last week you ran it and it was terrible. So I think we should call for a redo. I don't care if I won the race or not. We need a redo on that one.
Well, you'll have to unfortunately wait till next season to get that redo there, bud. Yeah, no, really fun. I asked Dustin about, the handling earlier with the new update. For you behind the wheel, is it noticeable for you or not so much because it's just the way that you drive the car?
Car doesn't seem like it changed at all, really. I was looking at that before, and all it said was that they updated the setups, which I'm pretty sure is them just adding a new Rockingham set.
Well,
Because
my understanding is they reworked about all the next gen setups to make them a little bit more drivable.
Yeah, I mean this car is kind of just, it is what it is at this point. I mean, no matter what setup it is, I kind of drive this track about the same. So even in another league where it was a fixed custom setup, I mean, I still run the same line and it feels about the same. I mean, with an actual setup, I mean, it's a little bit looser than this. This thing was definitely a little tight on that first run when I was battling with Dylan.
Yeah, talk a little bit about
man.
that.
That was
that
was a fun battle, man.
I have not seen the Cup cars be able to do something like that here in quite some time. I asked Dustin about it, and he was kind of just speechless about how many laps you guys were side by side. So,
yeah.
That's to me what it kind of made me realize that, oh, okay, these setups are a little bit different because, I mean, you could get away with that in the old setups about, 2-3 laps, but you and Dylan were, just nosing each other for, I want to say, good 6-7 laps side by side.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I felt like, I was like, man, I can get the run off the top, and then here he comes side drafting me, and then I would be, my left rear would be on his right front, and I just couldn't get any faster than that, and he'd start pulling back on me, and no, it was definitely fun, and then you honestly, if you run the top for a long time like that, you burn your right front, it gets hot, and then it don't want to turn, so that's really how he got by me, is the car just didn't want to turn anymore.
Yeah, I saw that you guys were both kind of washing up, so, good driving for that. That was entertaining. Probably been about the most entertainment that you guys have given the fans, since you went green, so hopefully you guys can do that again, but unfortunately, it looks like Dylan had some internet connection issues, unfortunate, but
so here's the thing. If you look back at the replay, he got a black flag.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're watching my car right now, but about right here is when he crossed his right rear and his right front over the yellow line because he got a little squirrely coming off a pit road.
I was wondering that. Okay, so that would explain it. I was commentating while that was happening. Goes, I know he was trying to get off before you, but I didn't know if he actually got the black flag because it did look like he dipped it just ever so slightly, but so that would give it that he didn't pit to serve his black flag, and unfortunately led to a DQ, if I'm understanding that right.
Yeah, he said, I mean, after he got DQ'd, he said, yeah, I gotta go, sorry. Yeah, I gotta go melt the ice or something like that. He said it something along those lines, so, but, no, I mean, it was a fun battle with him. I was hoping he would, stay in it, even with the quote-unquote, 100 lap, little freeze, I guess we would call it.
The Jim, as somebody coined it, the Jim France caution.
Yeah, the Jim France caution. Kind of box everybody back together and see what
Yeah,
happens. So.
absolutely. As you're sitting cushy on a 15-second lead, as I did not see as I was pulling you guys in there. What happened to Hardy? He dropped quite a bit. Is it just
He
pit
said,
cycle?
yeah, he said,
He
he
ran out of
said,
gas.
yeah, he said, man, I sped.
Oh, he
So
sped on pit road, so he
he
had
got
to
his,
pass through.
yeah, no, he had a hold, since he
Oh,
sped.
okay.
I think he sped on entry,
Ah,
which is funny because even though he sped, I was about oh 7 seconds, I'd give or take 7 seconds behind him going into pit road, and I gained down to 1.5, and I didn't speed, so I guess he just didn't use enough brake or something.
well,
But
we had him pulled into the booth and was talking to him for his mid-race run, and he ran out of gas down the backstretch. So I think he was just
see, I
trying
knew
not
that
to
boy
lose.
was lying about. I knew that boy was lying. I got 10 laps left. I had like 5.
Yeah, yeah, no, you guys are running it out. I mean, you guys are already getting ready for another pit road, pit cycle here, the next, what, 10 laps or so?
I'm good for another about 20. So
Okay, so right around the halfway point is when well,
yeah, I'm
if you
trying
can
to.
stretch it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to sit here and stretch it to the halfway,
I
and then I
mean,
got to
at,
really.
at 15 seconds, I think you could back her down about, 4/10 of a second for the next 20 and still have enough gas.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that? No,
Well,
even in
true
RC
that.
racing, I don't back down. I mean, there. I'm not lying. There was a race where it was just me and another guy. He wanted to run his car, so I ended up running with him. He was running like
Nice.
maybe like 4 point. Around our track, we run like our fastest cars are like 3 point something seconds, and we were running about 4, like mid to high 4s. He was, and I was running like 4 4s, 4 3s. He was running like 4 8s. So
Nice. All
yeah,
right. Well,
I'm I'm definitely not the person to back down from a challenge.
yeah, we know. We know all too well. You've made your presence quite known here. I real quick here. I know that I'll lay it out here for the folks at home that are watching. If you are watching still, thank you. We appreciate it each and every week. But the new schedules for next season have been uploaded. If you had a chance to look at that, what are your thoughts going into next season?
To be completely honest, haven't looked a single bit at it. I'm sure there's gonna be it's the trucks are in the O'Reilly's cars, so we'll see what that brings us. And I don't know, I'm not a real big fan of those B cars. I'm a pretty good fan of the trucks. It's a lot of momentum, kind of similar to this car. You can't really power out of the corner like you can in a like an Xfinity or something.
Yep, definitely
Um,
different driving styles.
yeah, that truck's gonna be fun. Definitely, I feel like that truck's gonna be more pack racing than this next gen car. I did see that they actually updated them. Something about they skewed the bodies a little more and made it more
Yeah,
realistic. So
so
that's definitely
they
gonna be a lot of fun looking at the track and watching them go down a straightaway, and they're all gonna be cockeyed. It's gonna be fun to look at.
So, from what I was looking up while I had some time at work earlier, it looks like they skewed it another almost 14 degrees. So,
Oof.
instead of being perfectly almost symmetrical like it has been for many years now, you're actually going to see the skew. So, you
I
kind
mean,
of could with the last update, you could kind of see when you were at the really straight tracks, you could kind of see the trucks were not, tracking completely straight, but now you're really going to be seeing that tail out happy.
oh yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to drive. A lot of fun just to see what that car can do. Because I know in the open setups, it's going to look a little interesting.
I
But
guarantee it is going to
no.
look like people are drifting those cars with their setups.
Oh yeah, it's gonna look like they broke their right rear. They broke their whole rear end or something.
It's going to look like 2008 before NASCAR had to go, no, 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 too much skew. I referred to it back to the Jeremy Mayfield, when he was in the 40 car still, it looked like he was sideways down the front stretch. He had so much skew in that car. So it's going to be entertaining, and we'll let you go back here cruising. Your 15-second lead hasn't really diminished too much, so we'll let you go. And it does look like we do have a new person waiting in the lobby. Mr. I just got off work is going to join the booth, so we'll let you go back and we're going to see what our friend Alex has to say this week. So enjoy the time, Brantley, and we're going to try to do some more of these mid-race interviews going forward.
All right, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Now we welcome to the booth Alex.
Hey Justin.
Hey, buddy. So unfortunately, life got in the way of you making it to the grid, but how are you this week? And
I've been doing pretty good. I wasn't at work. I heard you say that on the broadcast. I was at a job fair that my school makes all the juniors and seniors go to.
Okay, my
But
apologies.
it's nah, you're all good. Have been to some job interviews this week though. Went to Chick-fil-A. They decided not to hire me. But yeah, this race looks not too interesting to be honest. I mean, it looks like the strategy is kind of cool, but that's about all I'm seeing. Are you able to live stream so I can watch it live? My iRacing's still updating.
I am.
But
I'm on my YouTube channel, Wilkes
yeah, I know.
Productions.
I'm at like on the Discord so I can because that's
Oh.
delayed a little bit.
Unfortunately, not without it trashing the live stream.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my PC does not like it for whatever reason when I just stream on multiple platforms at once. Don't ask me why.
Makes sense.
I have a $2,000 computer, but technology is weird.
Yeah. I might be getting an upgrade to mine soon. My dad just bought a new one that looks a lot more expensive than mine, and apparently Costco's selling them really cheap. So
Yeah, they gotta get rid of their stock. Our Costco is doing the same thing.
yeah.
Well, you're not missing much, in case you noticed, but we should have as Brantley so accurately labeled it, the Jim France caution here in about 10 laps.
Yeah, I did hear about that. This race, I think I probably wouldn't have been too fast. I mean, I don't even own Michigan, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to make it, like, starting, I think it was, like, Sunday night. I knew I was probably not gonna make it. But next week I should be able to unless I get hired for another job. Next week I'm excited. It's the Chicago Street Course.
I'm hopefully you make it, because you're my pick to win on the street course. Mr. Road Course Ringer over here.
Yeah. Hopefully
Mr.
get some of the points back I missed from this week.
Well, honestly, you might lose a spot. Possibly, depending. I forget, where were you in points going into
I'm
this week?
first by like 85.
Okay, and we pay out 35 for
50
a race?
if you lead the most. Like it's
Okay, so
it's
50 if
depending
you
on
lead.
bonus points.
All
I
right.
think like 56 is the max you can get.
So you still
But-
have your points lead.
Yeah, I'll have my points lead, but it won't be by as
It'll
much.
be by a race.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
But I was gonna ask if
Go
I
ahead.
qualify on pole next week, and I start from the pits, do I get the pole position award and hard charger if I win?
I think that's a good question. I don't know if
I'd have to ask Hardy.
you would have to ask Hardy. I would want to say probably not,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
but I mean, I'd still give you the hard charger if you did go through the field.
Yeah,
It'd be
I just thought
entertaining.
there's a bonus point for it or something.
There is a bonus point,
Yeah.
and I am working on a little something at the end of the season as well as what I'm contributing
Yeah.
to the championship. So
Makes sense.
by the new year, I'll unveil what I have planned for that. Get with Hardy a little bit and
Alright.
talk about that. So yeah, so stick around for that future announcement there, and we got to convince Hardy to throw a caution every like 15 laps or so, because man, these fans, I don't know if your girlfriend's watching. Unfortunately, I know probably not, because you're not racing this afternoon. But
Yeah, we weren't watching. We were at a job fair.
no, so it happens. I mean, I do wish you the best in your job hunt.
Yeah.
Job one for you. Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah, it would be my first job, but honestly, what I'm planning on doing is just waiting until I'm 17 and joining the National Guard. Because military is my career path that I want to go down anyways, so I think it would help me a lot to be in it, like during college and stuff.
So what I would recommend is going to your local recruiting office and seeing if you
Mhm.
can get enrolled in JORTC. if you want to do
My
that.
school, yeah, my school and no school near me offers one. Unfortunately, I already looked into that. So
Okay.
yeah, I would if I could.
But you can also
But
do,
yeah,
from what my experience and what I had to do, because the city I lived in didn't have ROTC either. I was able to go in and basically um, ask the unit if I could work for them before I signed the contract doing odd and end jobs, and you kind of get your foot in the door and you kind of learn a lot more, about it before you get into it. So that's always an
makes
option
sense.
too. So, or what you do is you wait till you sign your contract, and then if you know what your unit is, go to your unit and be like, hey, I am leaving for basic this day. Can I work here until I leave? And you'll
Yeah, it makes
typically
sense.
get a better rank up before you even hit basic.
Yeah. But what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on doing college before I join the military. So
National
I want to
Guard's
be
a
an
good way to do it.
officer. Yeah, National Guard's a good way. I already have a scholarship that I can have, so I'm pretty much going to be in college for free, especially if I do the National Guard. But
Absolutely.
um,
Good career
yeah,
path,
I'm
though.
excited. Yep, I'm excited for that. Unfortunately, I think that'll probably take up my racing time. But
Yep.
I
Well,
mean,
ask
yeah,
ask Dustin. He's been in a lot longer than I was, but
yeah, he still races
he's still racing. But he's also looking to retire.
to
So
get out of it. Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. I get those discharge papers.
No, it wouldn't be a discharge paper. No,
I
it will
thought it
be,
would be.
but it will be a
Yeah, they're
discharge.
like
Is just
it's
an
honorable,
honorable.
right?
I think he's
Yeah,
going to go for his medical because of the
yeah,
stuff
that makes
he's got
sense.
wrong. So he's
Yeah, with
just
his
looking for his
back.
medical
Yeah,
discharge, and you know,
yep,
unfortunate for everybody that's ever had to do a medical discharge. It's a pain in the ass process, and I wish him the best because it's a long,
yeah.
strenuous amount of paperwork.
He's explained a bit of it. It sounds really arduous.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
I yeah, I don't know how delayed the stream is, but I saw that James just pit and moved Dustin into second.
I have
Brantley
about
has
a
a
2 second delay on.
okay, so that's not too bad. That's
Yep,
not too bad.
I have the lowest delay possible. So.
That's good. That's good.
Yep, unless I decide to pause the stream. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
um, but no, glad you could be in the booth, and gives me some exciting to talk to. Besides just going, hey, Brantley is out way ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
um, so um, yeah, you mentioned it. Next week is the aforementioned Chicago Street Course, and I don't know if you had any time at all, without before school or anything to do any type of driving with this new update or not.
No, I'm getting my updates done right now.
All right. Yeah, I haven't either, unfortunately. Dustin, when he this morning, he messaged all of us and said, "Hey, it's up." So I before I went to work, I was like, "Download." So I haven't had
Yeah.
any time on the sim either, and it does look like these cars handle really well now, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah, it looks like they like from what I've heard from some other discords I'm in, the cars handle better, but the dirty air is still pretty bad, which is I mean, I'm happy to hear that because I use dirty air to my advantage a lot.
Honestly, I
Um,
am okay with the dirty air. I was so glad when they put that into the game because it really forced it really separated the
it forced you
real.
to drive like you would in
Yeah,
real life.
it forced the sim racers versus the people who actually have experience in cars in dirty air. You definitely
Yes,
saw the break apart between basically the boys and men, quote
for sure.
unquote. But yeah, no, it does look
Yeah.
racy, and surprisingly,
Hmm.
even though we only have five, as Cooper looks like he's done for this afternoon. Now
Wow.
4 cars on the racetrack. How much rubber is being laid down is quite surprising to me with how little
Yeah.
cars we have on track. And
It's looking like they might have taken some inspiration from what Goodyear did like the second half of the actual season, which is what I think that's really good because I think tire wear it once again separates the like drivers that can handle it versus the drivers that can't do as well in it. So I think it'll be interesting to see with maybe like in a few weeks when we get some more people. I don't think we're gonna have too many people for the Chicago Street Course, but you never know. Um,
never know. I mean, the
yeah,
last race before we hit a almost 2.5 week gap for the holidays. So maybe some people are I know for me, holidays are really stressful, so
For sure.
I can't speak for everybody else, but it's a lot of busy time, As we see
Yep.
Hardy decide to say, I'm done, I need tires before he run and gas before he runs out, so he'll go a lap down to our race leader, which I'm guessing is as we're gonna be approaching the halfway point, I would expect the competition caution or Jim France caution to come out around 101, 102 at the latest, if that's what Hardy still wants to do. Kind of break up the monotony of putting laps and nobody's really gaining anything.
He might wait until Brantley has to pit just so that they don't have to do all the um
Well, as it
wave
stands
arounds and
right
stuff.
now,
But
that Brantley's gonna put cautions out right now. Just heard
okay.
that go up. As caution is as out exactly as our race leader approaches the halfway point. So this is going to be interesting because I know Jones, Hardy, and Frank are all laps down. So we'll see how if they do get the wave around. So stay tuned with me and Alex as we are watching live here from the Michigan International Speedway as we wait for the field to catch up. Perfect time to slot in our sponsors. What do you think about that one, Alex?
Yes, of course.
First and
Shameless
foremost,
plugs.
all of our friends over at iRacing.com for making all this possible week in and week out. Like I said time and time again last week, and I'll say it again a couple more times this week, iRacing has their holiday sale going on until December 24th. So go get your new iRacing subscription for 50% off for new subscribers and 25% off for all returning members. As well as don't forget your referral code, which will give you money to spend on iRacing and iRacing products. So head over to iRacing.com and get yours today. All of our friends, including Alex and myself, included over at the Outcast Motorsports, thank you for tuning in week and week out. We love what we do. We all are friends, and we like to poke fun, as Alex can attest. It is a fun group of people, entertaining, and never a dull moment.
It is for sure.
Of course, I'd like to give a shout out to myself, unfortunately, for making all this possible week in and week out, and of course, the beautiful woman behind me that has allowed me to do this every week. So appreciate that. And our friends over at HMS, Propane and Natural Gas Appliances. Go ahead and give Sam Hardy a call or email. We'll get you all squared away. And of course, Southern Speed Shop. If you need a fast, affordable, and most importantly, great handling race car, go head over to Southern Speed Shop to go get your setup. And of course, K Designs. I'm going to say that's photography. Alex, who is K Designs, by the way?
I'm not sure.
I wasn't either.
Okay.
We'll figure out who K Designs is. I should have had that
Yes,
figured
okay.
out right now. I apologize for that, but we'll figure out who K Designs is.
I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to know this.
I didn't either.
Hey, K Designs is Brantley Bryant.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So, what does he do exactly?
Paints.
Paints? Okay. Okay, so that is Brantley's. Okay, thank you, Dustin. Appreciate that. That was on my agenda to do, but I forgot about it.
Yeah, you good. But I'm going to hop back up here, boys.
All
Absolutely.
right, have a good race, Dustin.
All
Where
right.
does the K come from, Brantley?
That's a
I'm
great
just wondering,
question.
like,
That's
yeah,
probably why I didn't think that was,
Yeah, I didn't think it was either because Brantley Bryant. I don't know where the K comes in there, but
I don't know. I'll have to ask him, when he decides to, ever win this thing. Ooh, interesting. Alex, do you see who jumped over Hardy in the pit cycle?
looks like James did, right?
Yes, he did.
He did. Nice.
Which is alarming because he just was on pit road like 7-8 laps before the caution. So I don't know if he took tires or not.
He might have been. I think it was because he hopped over here for a second.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
he might have just been rejoining, but I'm not sure. We'll have
Not
to
either.
find out.
As I know, Frank Schermerhorn, who is Frank going to catch up with the back of the field drama before we hit the restart, Alex?
He should. I don't see. He's
Nope, lights
catching
are back on.
fast enough.
Lights
Lights
are
are back on?
back
Okay.
on the pace car. One
All right, I see
more
it now
before
on the
we go
broadcast.
green. I just saw them go back on because I don't think they would have. He would have caught up before they went green.
Oh, he would have made it just very tight. It would
It
have
would have
been
been it would have been tight, and I think
Yeah.
Dustin wants to, with four
Four.
amigos going at
Yeah.
it. It should be interesting. I would like to see all four of them, bumper to bumper for 95 laps, but we will
Michigan.
find out. It's Michigan, yeah. Michigan is known for these long, may I say, drawn out green flags. I don't know
I
why.
definitely. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that the track is super wide at most points, and also that the track is super long. So it tends to come down to how you set your engine up. If you set it up for like a big track, then you'll do better. If you set it up for a short run, you probably like overheat or something. I don't know, but I think it's a lot to do with that. In iRacing, it's probably a lot to do with the dirty air and tires with fixed setups. But it just tends to get super spread out. Like you could realistically go like 5 wide at most of the points here in this track.
Yeah, that's what I said early on. Is this track is like the widest on all? Well, one of the widest. I think Pocono actually is wider down the front stretch than here at.
Yeah.
But I think other than the front stretch at Pocono, I think this is by far like the widest all around racetrack from start to finish.
And the best part is from what I've gathered, you can run anywhere basically. Like
That's what it
that
looks
bottom's pretty
like,
fast.
and I think that all attunes to the new updated setups that iRacing put in, which I'm excited because I know that was my problem. As we're gonna go green, we'll catch it back up with that statement here momentarily, as the field goes into the restart zone. Green is out. Not a very good start from the outside line, which is, for some reason, Alex, has been very typical for our league this season, is that outside line just does not go.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's been like that for the whole season. Like even at Charlotte, like one of the races I won, it felt like that outside line just did not go. Even when I started, it just felt like it wasn't as good. I think that just might be an iRacing thing. Let's see, Hardy's on the back bumper of.
He's slingshotted. Where did Hardy? Does Hardy have 5 speeds in that car? That was an insane turn 3 and 4. Just rockets around the 52 of Brantley. Holy cow! That was like 15 mile an hour faster corner entry speed for that 17 car.
Yeah, I have no idea where that came from. Like you said, I have about a 2-second delay, so I heard your reaction. I was like, "What happened?" And then I saw it. I'm like, "Wow, that's amazing! I've never seen somebody dive so far and
he made it stick. That's honestly what I think is a prime example of what this new update is allowing drivers that are confident with doing something like that, which we all know Dustin loves to dive the corners really hard. He's good at it, can make it stick. Unless you're talking about the past like 3 weeks, then not so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or when he's behind me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is when that man is behind you, man. He drives like a pissed off grandpa.
I know. I think it's because I do a good job of pissing him off.
Now, folks at home, let me remind you, Alex does not drive iRacing with any sort of feedback in his wheel. Why is that, Alex? Is it just a comfortability thing, or?
To be honest, I never so my first experiences with iRacing was at Phoenix, where I would just like drive the sims that they have there in every NASCAR. Like every NASCAR event has those, I'm pretty sure now at least.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I really didn't like was the force feedback there. So when I got my wheel, I never really was in a rush to install G-Hub. I just never installed it for like 8 months. Ran with just the centering spring. I think if I had started with force feedback, I'd probably be like good with it and used to it at this point. But it feels like it's just a distraction to me. I don't know why. It feels like like I can it makes my senses like the hearing and the vision of like what the car's doing like from the cockpit. It feels like it makes it better. And also, I think since I got so used to racing without it, when I tried it again, I tried it in the Australian Supercars right before we did that Bathurst race.
Oh yeah.
It did not. No, I was not good. I was about 2 seconds off of what I was running in the actual race.
So what
So
it sounds like is that you were allowing you basically that one sense of like the sense of feeling, the weight that they call it in the car. It was a
yeah,
distraction, and so when you turn it off, you were able to be more consistent, more precise, and just
yeah, more
kind of went,
precise for sure.
you listen to your ears more than anything.
For sure, I think as we have
A
Hardy
battle.
and Brantley going side by side.
Yeah, and drag race down this backstretch, and this is what I was hoping. We saw this early on before you jumped in. I don't know when you caught it, but the 27 of Gomez and Brantley had a good side-by-side battle for, I want to say, almost 10 laps, just side by side. And I know, speaking to a lot of these guys, is that just never happened here at Michigan, with the older setup. So it's exciting to see what's going
Yeah,
on, and hopefully it's a progression into the, new year about, now that iRacing's starting to listen more and more to the community about, how they want this to feel and perform. So cool to hear, see that feedback that they're like, all right, these cars are way too tight. We need to make them more drivable. So I
for sure.
appreciate that, because that's why I've always struggled in these next gen cars, because I'm good when the tires are fresh, when it has grip, but once the car starts getting, the tires start wearing in, I just can't drive it anymore, because it was so hard on that right front tire
It
that
plows so
it
bad.
plows. And then, you're trying to back the corner entry up, and you're just losing so much time. And then you see that relative box, and you see people in your windshield and rearview mirror just gaining and just disappearing. So the fact that, all the guys that we talked to, in the mid race are saying that, it's a little bit more drivable is definitely going to be, I think, I don't want to say the solution for a lot of officials, but I definitely think it's going to create a lot better atmosphere here on the sim, with everybody being able to drive the car harder for longer.
Yeah, it's looking like I've just gotten the vibe from watching these couple guys go around. I haven't seen. I think obviously it would perform different in a full pack of cars, but it looks like they still get tight, but not tight enough to the point where they have to like get off the gas.
No.
Like they don't have to sacrifice any of their speed, just a little bit of their handling. And I guess like eventually, like maybe 20 laps into the run, that'll come back to bite them. But for right now, it's looking like these guys are more stable than they were, especially like before the update. As we see Brantley trying a new line here in 3 and 4 to
Yeah,
get out of that
just
dirty air.
searching for the grip. And yeah, as soon as you see, you'll see as soon as he gets out of that clean air, he picks up 2-3 mile an hour corner entry speed. So, I mean, it definitely has a performance disadvantage to be directly in the tire tracks of the car in front of you. And we saw this gap between the top three like this early on. And I mean, they came back to each other within probably 10 laps. Once everybody just kind of let the tires cool off, it seemed like the tires recovered a lot faster than they used to. Just watching these guys on track. So I'm looking forward as the week progresses. I'm gonna jump on and test it so I can kind of like familiar myself with it for next week and get a better idea of what it's doing.
Yeah,
Personally. Because I'll take the word of guys like Dustin and Brantley who do this religiously. You know, so I'll take their word for it. But until I experience it, I don't have much of knowledge.
that
Besides
much to go off of.
what these guys are commenting on as they put laps here. As
Yeah.
115 are gonna go up on the timing and scoring. Man, our buddy Frank, we'll see where Frank is just kind of riding around there, Alex. And I know everybody doesn't think he has a shot at winning, but I mean, I don't know. Besides, I mean, maybe like Brantley and like the guys that finished on the podium. I think Frank by far is probably our most consistent driver. All season long, start to finish.
Absolutely, he's top 5 in points for a reason. I think he's gonna pull one of these off on some sort of stupid strategy. Well, not stupid, but you know what I mean. Like everybody else botches it. I think it could be today. We see Michigan races in real life, and I've seen some league races that I've just watched on the broadcast come down to strategy a lot. And I think if he's running this far back, I know he's a little bit off of the pace of the regular guys. Like I think he recognizes that, but sometimes when you're not on the pace, you got to try something different. Like at Bristol Dirt, I was trying to just not stop again, and that almost worked until I wrecked it. That was nice.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
but it gives you that opportunity to try something and not risk your entire race because you would just be there. You would be there anyways. Is like
Ooh,
is what I'm trying to say.
little bump
It looks
drafting
like
from the 52 and the 17. Ooh,
it
you
looked
don't
like
see
Hardy
that too much.
clipped I think Hardy clipped the apron a little bit, allowed Brantley to get a bit
He
of a
did.
run
He
on him.
clipped the apron ever so slightly during the, going through the trial, and you'll see now. Watch, even though it looks like Jones is out of this, give Jones about 4 to 5 laps when these two start running, and he'll close in like 2 laps with the draft. So it's kind of crazy that even though he's a second behind these guys, he's still getting a tow from these guys. So it's oh, what is Brantley's pulling some Herbie move there, zigzagging down the front stretch.
Just making like IndyCar.
I think he's listening to the broadcast, listening and decided to say, "Hey, watch this."
Yep.
Oh, yep,
Dustin,
yep.
if you're listening to me right now, make a hard right, just into the wall.
We gotta have a little fun with these guys because I know
Yep.
these guys are watching for entertainment values too while they're racing. So I don't know. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Yep, they are definitely paying attention. This is entertaining. You're getting it live up.
This is fun.
These guys are just having fun. Yes, it's a season race this week, but honestly, with the small field, this is just basically practice for the remainder of the season for these guys with this new update. So, you know, yes, it's a race and they want to win, and and points are at stake. But honestly, right now these guys are just putting more laps, getting more comfortable with this update, and just getting more and more familiar with what they can and can't do. So, as much as it's for pride and glory, it's also for the fun of it. Ooh, Hardy hit that jump on the start finish line. That car bottomed out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I just saw it now on the broadcast. One other thing I was excited for in the update that I don't think we've mentioned yet is I see that new cross car came out and it looks really fun.
Yeah, Brantley and me were talking about that a little bit earlier too. I'm excited because I like dirt road. I enjoy it. I'm not the best at it, but I like to sling those cars. But it
Yes.
just got stagnant. I don't think we've had a new car or track in almost 5 years um, on dirt roads. So the fact that we got a new car and a new track with Lucas Oil Speedway
And
uh,
Winton.
and Winton, yeah, Winton as well. I'm excited to see what they did with Winton.
Me too, because I don't like Winton is probably my least favorite road course, like free road course in the game. Maybe except Lendon on, but with a dirt road layout, I might be inclined to run it a little more.
Yeah, so as me and Brian, oh my God, my tongue tied. Duh.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant in the 52 car. No, as Brantley was talking, we were talking that maybe uh, maybe dirt road is gonna start getting some more loving from iRacing. I know you run your Rallycross league. And I don't want to say that like this is a bad thing, but I think dirt road needs a little bit more loving, and like maybe the
Hmm.
oval side needs to take a step back in priority because they've done so much over the past couple years with oval. Now I think it's time to look at dirt, even dirt ovals. Yeah, we've got a couple
Yeah.
new tracks, but like setup wise and like the way they all handle it hasn't really changed. So hopefully maybe we'll see a little bit more from the dirt side of things.
Yeah.
Thoughts about that?
I could see both of those things happening, but to be honest, from what I've noticed on my about a year on iRacing, iRacing is a business first and foremost, and the
Yep.
two things that I think make them the most money are the NASCAR series because that was their base, that was like their core fan base. I think iRacing wouldn't be where it is today without ovals. And another thing, they really like GT3s, or just GT racing in general, GT4s, GT3s. Those things are their money makers, and they will prioritize them a lot more than other forms of motorsport. I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing because it does give us an opportunity to have some like more free cars. Like that cross car being free, I think is going to really help that dirt road scene. But if like for example this next gen didn't take off as well as iRacing wanted or iRacing was expecting it to, we might not have the opportunity to have that cross car or have it for free. So I think it's good to see that they're just updating and working hard on the things that make them the most money. But I would definitely like to see some more dirt road, especially the tracks. I think especially the free ones. There's only like 4 of them in the rotation. And it's getting kind of a little bit like monotonous, like running the Beetle Lights, especially the rookie series because that's where a lot of the competitive guys run the rookie series because the B class and like the C class don't really get too much participation, which I can attest to. I have about
Yep.
3,500 I rating on dirt road. It's probably honestly, it's probably where I have my most fun on iRacing. I just like driving dirt road tracks, especially with the Beetle Lights. Those are my favorite dirt road cars.
Yep. And I know, wasn't it the Beetle
Yeah.
Lights that they did do a refresh on here not too long ago?
They did do that, and it broke them for like a week and a half.
What do
We
you mean?
almost had to postpone one of because they were announcing that they were going to do a refresh on it, or something broke on the car. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you couldn't load a session with them for like a week and a half, and
Oh,
we almost had to cancel one of our races for it. I've had to cancel a few of them or delay a few of them more recently because I've had to go to jobs or school events or whatnot. This weekend, hopefully, I won't have to do any of that. But um, yeah, iRacing's been doing some interesting things with dirt road, and I hope they keep it up.
yeah, I would definitely like to see it. As you know, the battle for the race lead is kind of stabilized right around about 6 car lengths, and a huge gap back to our third place runner of James Jones. I know, folks, that we're talking, about other stuff, but at this point in the race, this is kind of what announcers do in real life too. At this point, just kind of talk things, keeping the atmosphere a little bit different, um, not to take away from the action on track, but honestly, it's going to be the 2 cars that we see on screen right now that are going to be battling for this race lead. Yeah, Jones is in the mix, 2 some seconds behind, but it's probably going to take another caution for Jones and Frank to catch back up, if I had to say so.
That or they play with the pit strategy a little bit.
True.
Pit strategy is probably one of my favorite parts of iRacing, just because it like the uncertainty, that like uncertain feeling you get if you're trying to pull something off, like I was at Darlington. Um,
Yeah.
That was by far.
Let's
like,
not talk
the
about
most-
that.
Hey, it was a fun race until I wrecked it a few times. I honestly think if that had went green, I think I could have won that one.
I think he could have. You had a pretty strong car
yeah.
that week.
I had a strong car, and then I had the strategy advantage because I know it. Like it takes a driver that can notice like a strategy to get one working.
Yeah.
Like
Y-
I tend to notice those things, and I think
You know,
that
the
really
the funny
benefits
that you
me.
bring that up because I always have I have my overlays on, with
Mhm.
how much fuel I have left in the tank, and I always want to try to run it out until I have like half a lap to go before I pit. But then I see like these guys that are still out there. I'm like, how do you still have more fuel in the tank when I'm running the exact same pace as you? And it's like, do I undercut you and then potentially go a couple laps down depending on where we're at? Or do I try to overcut you, but then when we have to pit again, I fall back? So it's kind of hard, and especially it goes based on cars in Series 2, really, because
Yeah.
every car in Series is different. I don't know from me personally, like I try to undercut it so I'm not like, as we got a rattle for the race lead heating up once again, as like Hardy did earlier, run out of gas. But sometimes that bites you in the, you know what.
Yeah, you can. It's very complicated. I don't really have a general idea. Like, it's different on every circumstance. I think in these next gen cars, what I've noticed works is the overcut tends to work a lot. But depending on what track you're at, especially short tracks like Richmond, like Bristol, the undercut can work and it can work well. Um, I did that a few times at Richmond. I think it helped me win that race.
Yeah, no, you
As
played
we,
that strategy
yeah,
to the T as we see Hardy decide to stake it down the front stretch, not giving Brantley any racing room. But you know, these two are putting on a clinic like these guys do week in and week out. And honestly, I will say this. Oh no, where did Hardy go? Oh, there he went. Ooh, that
oh,
was
did he
that
disappear?
that was scary. Yeah, he kind of disappeared on my screen for a minute. That was a
Oh yeah,
little
I just
alarming.
saw it on the broadcast.
Um, don't need another birdie having internet connection issues.
Yeah, I'm not DDoSing him, only Wyatt.
so, and it does look like unfortunately Frank Skimmerhorn did go at one lap down. So the top three are as follows: Hardy, Brantley, and Jones. As I know, the pit cycle is going to start happening here. That might be why Frank is a lap down with pit road because
I think it was why,
yeah.
yeah.
So we should see these race leaders pit either next time by or the lap after that because I think from experience you don't want to press it too hard because that is how Dustin did get a black flag and it does look like Hardy's deciding I am not going to do that again, gives up our race lead and then decides to go to the attention of his crew and get 4 fresh tires and fuel put in that car as we see James Jones make up a lot of time on pit road entry. Holy cow. He just picked up 5 seconds going onto pit road.
Sure he didn't get a speeding penalty?
He may have. Let's see.
Yeah, I was gonna say that didn't look very.
Nope, I do not
He,
see anything popping up, so
it might also just be the relative playing games with you because that does happen sometimes.
it does,
the
and especially
relative just
using you know, an outsourced, you know, overlay for live
ticker.
timing and scoring. So,
Yeah.
but I know he was about 4 seconds at. Wow, this is going to be a tight battle between these two. He had a great pit stop. Wow, that is quite impressive. As now we see that
For
gap
sure.
kind of stretching out here. Just got to be careful because Gonez got the black flag for dipping the tire ever so slightly on that yellow line. As it looks like we are clean and green for these two. And Frank Skirmhorn gets his lap back, and the 52 should be pitting. No, he decides to stay out one more lap. So how many more laps can our race leader go on this tank of fuel?
It's a good question. One that I don't know the answer to because I'm not in the car. But yeah, there's a lot that can be played with strategy here in Michigan. We've seen time and time again that this like strategy could come down to guys literally running out of fuel with half a lap to go. And that's
Yep.
how Mark Martin got his last career win, in fact.
Oh,
is,
yeah, Michigan.
Jimmy ran out of gas, and then Biffle ran out of gas.
That was
and
here at Michigan, too.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, okay. As Bryant decides, yep. Oh, did he? Ooh, that was a little close to that pit road commitment cone. Now the question is, do these guys get out and make it around again before his crew services that car? We'll keep an eye on that here as he goes to the
I
attention
think
of
it
the
might be
52.
closer than it seems because Hardy he did have those fresh tires for a few laps, but he also I don't think he had the greatest pit entry.
No.
Because James, you said picked up about a second on him, so this could be close.
Oh, 2 tires and fuel?
Nope.
4
They
tires.
took 4. They took 4.
This is gonna be close.
Yep.
5 seconds is closing down. Where's Hardy? Do we pick up Hardy here? Oh, Hardy's way into just now into turn 1 and 2. Down the back stretch. He's up to speed and tires are warm. He's closing that gap on our race leader. Now that race lead's starting to stretch out, but Brantley's got to be careful with these cold tires. It takes about a lap for these next gen tires to come up to temp.
It does. I think Brantley pushed the pit exit or the pit entrance to the absolute max. I don't think that could have been like, I'd say like another mile an hour. That probably was a speeding penalty, because it looked like he was still slowing down by the time he hit the entrance line. But it
Yeah,
gained him about 3 seconds, so it worked.
yeah,
It did his job.
wow. So in that cycle of pit stop, he gained about 4 seconds because he was about a
Yeah,
second
'cause he
behind
was
Hardy.
he was about half a second behind Hardy, and
So he gained
yeah,
about
it
four
gained it.
seconds. That's
That's fast.
impressive. Like that just goes down to how ballsy you are coming down to that pit road commitment line.
Yeah, I've had my problems with it. Honestly, I think pitting is I definitely got to practice that more.
I
Pitting
think a
seriously.
lot of people do because I mean I've seen it too many times in officials where people are pissed off because they're getting black flags because they don't realize how difficult it is to get on a pit road.
For sure.
Especially like I don't know if you did any of the snowball stuff or winter derby here
No,
on iRacing, but
I don't have that.
man, dude, I saw so many people getting black flags because of where that pit road entry is at Five Flags. Man, it was crazy. Like you go through 3 and 4, and you basically got to immediately before you hit the exit onto the front stretch, you got to yank that wheel to the left, almost causing your car to kick out sideways because that pit road is just right there. Now the question, Alex, I will ask you. You've been in this position as after you've been bested on a pit road cycle. With you being the one chasing down somebody, do you drive even harder at that point, knowing that you lost a good couple seconds on the guy in front of you?
No, I just wait for the guy in front of his internet to go out. But in actuality, it's a complicated decision because you see the guy in front of you pulling away and you want to go chase him. But if you don't want to lose even more time, sometimes you just gotta tank that and say I'll get him next cycle, or I need my luck, or I need something to happen. I need something, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it can really work both ways depending on it. But yeah, I don't think, like, honestly, Hardy's kind of in a hard situation right now because he's about 3 seconds back. So if he pushes too much more, he'll start running into that dirty air. But if he lets him go, Brantley can, as he's shown today, can really pull a gap.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad you said that because, I'll use you as an example. We've saw you do that happen to you too, where you're very even keel, but I've seen it too, where all of a sudden the guy pulls on you, and then you just kind of like, I don't got nothing for you, and then they come back. But here at a track like this that's so wide with so many lanes available to you, as a driver, do you focus more on just slowing yourself down, hitting your marks, or is it more of like, I need to find where the grip is? Where is this grip lap after lap?
Honestly, sometimes it depends on how you're thinking or it depends on how you like think as a driver. Because what I've noticed for me is if I'm trying to chase someone down, I tend to overthink things a lot, and I think that doesn't help me. But sometimes when you're in the zone and doing that, it can work. But I remember like a few weeks ago, I was in a TCR race, and this guy would be just constantly a second and a half in front of me, and then I'd gain a little bit, and then he'd pull away, and I think I figured it out at the end. If I just let my tires cool down just a little bit more, I could have the pace on him, but by then it was too late. So I think you really got to manage everything. It's about management. A lot of racing, it comes down to management like this, and it is boring. Like even in the driver's seat, you see the guy in front of you. You're like, I can go catch this guy right now, but you have to be patient, and you have to be like that kind of patient to, in my opinion, be like as successful as these guys are.
Yeah, no, I am so glad that a driver that races competitively and is always in the top five said that because I know I have my challenges behind the wheel, especially in these next gens. I struggle with these cars. Even though they've been on the server for what 2 years now, two and almost three.
I have no idea.
I think it was
I
three.
joined a year ago.
I think it was three. So a little over 3 years ago when these cars made, because it was a year after the Cup Series debuted them. So yeah, it was. I I don't know what it is, but you throw me in a 6th gen car, I can run with the best of them. But these next gen, I have to agree with you that like I see that guy in my windshield just getting further and further away, and I drive the wheels off this thing. I personally know exactly what you mean by like you overdrive, you overthink, you don't consciously know you're doing it until you realize that, oh, this car is not doing what I want it to do anymore.
Yeah, this car is horrible.
And and
This
then
thing's
by
horrible.
that time you have no tires and they're gone. Like,
Yeah.
it happened to me at, where was I? It happened to me in the Xfinity cars at Atlanta, the old Atlanta, last week. It was a 45 lap race officially, A class, it was going great. The car handled phenomenal for like 27 laps, and then all of a sudden I had
You hit a
no
wall.
tires left. Like that
Yeah.
car just was pushing like a freight train, and I just watched everybody I passed pass me back, and I was like, what can I do? I just kept pushing and pushing, and I just wore that right front down to where I lost the 7th spot to a guy who, going 3 laps to go in the race, he was over 17 seconds behind me, but because I had pushed it so hard, he caught up and passed me on the final lap. Like, so that, I know exactly what you mean by that, is like, as race car drivers, it's so hard for you to take that back seat and go, no. Because you want to push. It's part of what makes race car drivers, is that ability to just push. And
For sure.
I know for a fact that even though these guys have a lot of green flag laps, these guys are still pushing every single lap.
They might not be pushing 100%, but um, they're totally pushing as I see my girlfriend's talking in the chat. Hi, Sarah. Um, yeah, it can sometimes be like that. Like I had my first ever race I did at Homestead with the Xfinity car. I think it's definitely more pronounced in that car than the other ones. Because I think that one's more like a Gen 6 and it pushes kind of like a Gen 5. It's a combination of a couple different cars. I was racing Homestead, and there was 3 seconds of tire fall off, from the beginning of the run to the end of the run. So you could actually make a two-stop work in the open races there,
Yeah.
um, which I thought was really interesting because I like doing that. I like being on the aggressive side of strategies. I think they usually, like, sometimes they work, and when they do work, they feel really good because it feels really good to know that you made an entire extra pit stop than everybody else and are still fast enough to like pass them again. But like after a certain point there, like especially my first race, like I could handle like the first 20 laps. And then the thing started handling like a pregnant elephant on ice skates, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? It's sliding, it's getting tight when it shouldn't, it's getting loose when it shouldn't. This thing isn't driving like a stock car. And I was wondering what happened, and then I looked at my tire percents, and they were in the single digits.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay then.
yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see, I don't know if you saw the next year. We can actually say next year because we are going to start season 2
I have not looked at it yet.
next year officially, as we can say that. The schedules haven't posted um, on our Discord, and we will have them, I believe, maybe on our website. Stick around. I'll ask Dustin about that here and let you guys know at home watching. So you guys can actually follow on our website. We do have a website. Um, Alex, I know you have the ability right now. Will you actually go ahead and look up what the website is right now?
Okay, it's in the Discord server, correct?
Yes.
Okay, it's probably in
It should be in general.
General.
Hmm.
I saw that Jeff was not very happy. I see that we have a team shop. Is it in the Outcast
Yes,
one or
it's
just
the team
the?
shop. Yeah, it's the team shop.
Okay,
I don't
I'll
know
go
if
look
he
in
has it set up all the way for everybody else to see what's going on with it or not, but still in the works, I know.
Outcast Motorsports. Okay. Yeah, for me, I'm just seeing a hat.
Okay,
That's
so
all
we
I'm
just got the
seeing.
hat right now. All right, so we are working on getting the website up and running still. I know Dustin's very, very, very busy man between being a husband, working full time, and blowing off some steam here on the servers. So we'll get that up and
Yeah.
running here. As it looks like Dustin decided just to kind of concede this race lead at the moment there, Alex. Dropped about half a second off, from where he was running to Brantley. And I think at this point, as believe it or not, folks, we're going to hit another round of pit cycles here very shortly as these laps are ticking by here really fast here at Michigan. Almost 200 miles an hour, 2 miles doesn't take much more than, I want to say, 30 seconds at most. I think it's
I
even
don't know the lap
faster.
times around here. I think it's a little bit slow. I think it's like 37 or 38 seconds
Somewhere.
because there were people like 39 seconds back and they weren't a lap down on the ticker. So
That's true. Okay.
um, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
see there.
yeah.
Now the question is, Alex, if you were in my shoes, who would be the hard charger at this point? Because there's two gentlemen that have gained 2 spots, but only one of them is still on track.
I'll give it to the one that's still on track and in the lead right now.
Okay, so
Because I mean, like I get Jerome is a hard. He's working hard. Do you know what happened to him? I
he
didn't
so
see.
he so this is what happened to all the folks at home. If you are a Jerome Cooper fan. Unfortunately, he did get a black flag because as he was the race leader, as Brantley was chasing him down on the racetrack, he was coming off pit road and was pushing it to the absolute max and just ever
I thought
so
that was
slightly.
Dylan.
Or was it Dylan? Oh, maybe it was
Yeah, I think
Dylan.
that was Dylan. I
It was
think
Dylan.
he might
Sorry.
have had to. He might have had to
Sorry,
do something.
Dylan got the black flag for going over the blend line just ever so slightly. Jerome, I'm not too sure what happened to Jerome. He was running good, and then the next thing I know, he's like 4 laps down. Um, Unfortunately. Um, so I will have to see what happened to him. I don't know if he had some issues, internet issues or what with that, but um, yeah, no, he had a good race going. He was looking strong, bound up there with Frank. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Um, we will find out as the evening progresses at what exactly happened there, and maybe get some insight as the week goes on about what's happening. Because I know, I don't know about where you're living, Alex, but I know there's been a lot of storms going on across the country um, as we hit deeper into December. So
Yeah,
might have been.
Arizona's been nothing but clear for about a month now. We had some really bad ones in November, or like early November, and I think it might have been somewhat in October, but we've had really clear skies recently.
All right, yeah, because we have now, as I say it, the wind storm coming through again here, called a rain shadow. Um,
Yeah, that'll knock some power lines out.
so I know here on the West Coast, that's been a thing, and I know all the snow in the Midwest that's been getting dumped. Even in Western Washington, across the mountains, having getting dumped. We have 2 of our 4 passes that closed down, and looking at closing our third one. So we're only going to have 1 pass here open here by the end of the month. So I know that a lot of the country has been getting into, and I know I don't know about the East Coast where Dustin's at is in the Carolinas of what the weather has been over there, but yeah, weather's not been very kind to to most of the country this winter so far.
Yeah, from what I've even seen, like Texas is getting some storms and some really cold weather. It's been getting a lot colder recently, at least especially in areas that like usually we have to wait till January and February to get below the 30s for the start of the day.
Oh wow.
We're already like 35 degrees out here.
Well, and it's crazy
Um,
because here out on the West Coast, here in the PNW, is typically by now, we hit 30 degrees, but um, we have now been waking up every morning for the past like 3 weeks to almost 50-degree weather. So it's very uncharacteristic for this time of year.
For sure.
As this is the 40 to go. Brantley out in dominating fashion once again here. And yeah, as you said it, Frank Skimmerhorn 25 seconds back, is still on the lead lap. So yeah.
No, that's 25 seconds back from
Oh yeah,
James.
so
So
he's
he's
over
about
30. Oh,
yeah,
yep, he's
he's
on the same straightaway.
Yep. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you, Alex.
definitely
I did forget that I do have to change. I got to make a mental note of that I do need to change the ticker for the overall thing. That is the gap between each other.
yeah.
Caps is a little weird. I use caps. I don't know if you're familiar with them for overlays.
Nope. I have no
I've
idea who
tried
that
using
is.
Race Labs, but I don't like how it looks. So caps, I kind of like how dark it is, how visible it is. So I use caps for my live timing and scoring. So bear in mind with me, it's one of the free overlays that iRacing partners with that they use. So it's been
Do you
good.
know how to get the regular iRacing ticker, or is that just like the one that scrolls in the top?
I like the ones that the pros use.
I think so, maybe.
So like
Not
when
the
you're,
one that not the Pro Series, but I mean like I know there's one that's I think free on iRacing,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
not
I'll have
sure.
to look that up. I'm not too sure. I know the
I could
pros
send you
have.
some broadcasts that have it.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a lot of them use, whatever the pros use too, and like, there's so many. Although honestly, though, I will tell you this as an insider thing: there are so many different overlays and like companies that iRacing allows to use as overlays that
Yeah.
it is so hard to find one that like fits your needs. That's the problem, is like, what is it? Can you customize it so it looks good? Is the thing. And caps is honestly for me personally because I'm not a very tech savvy person. Caps was so easy to set up. Like it literally was a step by step, like 3 buttons
Yes.
just to set up. So, but the folks at home only got to bear with us for another couple weeks because it is official that I'll be making my debut in the series next year after the new year. So
Hey, nice.
we'll see me in both either the trucks and the Xfinity car or just the Xfinity car depending on my work schedule.
I'm excited to lap you. I'm just kidding. But but yeah, I am excited to see another guy on track. I think it'll be nice to have you.
I miss
seems
it,
like you
man.
can.
I,
Yeah, I
I,
bet.
I miss competing with you guys. I know, unfortunately, Alex, I have we raced on track yet together in anything like?
I don't think we've raced on track together except for that Bathurst race, but I don't really think that counts because we were in the same
We're in the
same
same
thing,
car,
and
yeah.
same car, and that race. Could you unprivate it because I have a clip that I want to like show my friends, but it doesn't let me. So it's like remember when I had to go gas it into the wall
Oh yeah.
because yeah, I want
Yep.
to show that. And also Sarah said Arizona below 70 degrees rare sighting.
Arizona below 70. Yeah, I can say that's a rarity.
Yeah. It's 52 right now where I'm at.
That ain't bad. That's
Yeah, it's
that's
not bad at
beautiful.
all.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've spent winters in Buffalo, so
It's 46.
negative 20.
Yeah.
Negative 20 I don't really mind. So
I've lived in the Midwest for about 15 years, so I
yeah,
know cold. Negative
as we
20s for
are
weeks at a time.
as we are approaching lap 167, 33
30.
to go. I think that's in the pit window, right?
Yeah, so I think. See, this is what happened because they said they can go like as Jones just hits pit road, he'll go one lap down to our race leader. Same with Frank Skimmerhorn; those two are both on pit road. You can go about 35 to 37.
Okay.
So, and I don't think that we're gonna have a green-white checkered. So you, in theory, if as it looks like Hardy has,
Just pulling off.
Hardy is slow. Hardy's
Did
really
you run out?
slow. Oh no, did he run out of gas again? Oh, this is disaster. Oh, he's shaking that car. I think Hardy is out of fuel.
Yeah, he's out.
He is out. Oh no. Can he? Oh, looks like he got some more fuel
You
momentarily.
have sputters. Sometimes it goes for like, especially if you're
Yep.
like far
Oh yeah,
away from
he's
the
shaking
pits.
that thing. You got to get that fuel to the fuel pickup, and it looks like he might be able to make it to pit road. Otherwise, we're gonna have to bring the caution out as he goes a lap down.
I think he'll make it, but I think that also seals the race for Brantley.
It does
Because
indeed. I don't know,
yeah,
Alex. He is slow. I do not know if he's got the speed to make it to pit
he's
road.
gonna. I think he'll make it back to pit road.
But the
He
question
should
is,
be able
can
to.
he make it to his pit box? Because he's
Yeah,
all the
that
way
one's
at the
it's pretty far up.
far end of pit road.
Yeah,
He's
but
gonna
I
lose
think
two.
if you tow once you're in pit road, you only lose like 15 seconds. I think, right, or something.
I do believe as he does make it on pit road, we stay green. Question
Yep.
is, he's slow run. We'll keep an eye on this, see if he needs a tow. He is just.
He should make it, I think.
You know, in his seat, he's rocking that seat, going, "Come on, come on, come on, you got it." He's got the hand out the window.
Yeah, like sometimes even when I'm pressing my throttle button that gives 100% power, I'm like slamming my foot down
And
on
a
the gas.
trick
Like,
of the
come
trade
on.
too is if you do run out of fuel like this, hit your starter. You can run it off the starter.
Yes, you can run it off the starter. I have done that a few times.
And I wonder if
before.
that's what Dustin's doing right now, is just running that car off the starter, because
I think
he should have
if I
stopped by
could
now.
hear it, yeah, he would have stopped by now. You gotta clutch it and use the starter, not at the same time, but like once
Yep.
you're out of momentum, you can use the starter to run it. So I think he should be able to make his pit stall.
He just barely makes it in. He's going to lose heavily. And yes, folks, I hate to say this, but Brantley Bryant will be your race leader this afternoon.
Yeah, he's lapped the field, guys. I
Yes,
don't
he
think this
has.
Yep.
Just fuel as Brantley decides to go on a pit road. Now the question is, Hardy just gassed it.
He took two. I
He
don't
took
know.
right sides, so this is going to be interesting.
He had the time. I mean, he had the time to take four.
And this should unlap Frank Skimmerhorn, who is running in that second spot, Alex.
If he catches a caution at the right time, or for some reason Brantley disconnects,
Brantley is
this
gone.
This could be an incredible story.
Can he get his lap back, though? Because Brantley's already out of pit road. It looked like it might have just been a two-tire ordered fuel. Frank Skimmerhorn going down the backstretch. No, he cannot get his lap back.
So what do we think about another Jim France caution, guys?
Yeah. Oh, he allows Frank to get his lap back.
Well, that's nice. That's some common courtesy. Frank also might have to pit here soon, so we don't know.
Frank already did pit. He pit before Dustin.
I did not see that. Okay, that's interesting.
Yep, that's how he gained up to second, because he went around Hardy. As Brantley's like, I need somebody to race. So even if it is the last car in the lead lap.
You know what Brantley could be doing, right? He could be using Frank's draft to save some fuel.
Good, because I don't know with under 30 to go.
He's passing him.
He's passing him.
Yeah, I was like, never mind.
I don't know if we can convince the Boss Man folks to throw another Jim France caution, but in the chats, if you would give about 10 thumbs up, and we might get this underway and get another regroup in here to finish off this race.
Also, you might have to do the interviews yourself. I'm gonna go eat dinner like right after the race.
No, you are definitely good to go with that. Right. Yeah, it's going to be pretty fast interviews this afternoon, because we've heard from everybody, and not much has changed except for Frank Skimmerhorn sitting on that P2. So You are all good, my friend. I appreciate you joining in and talking.
I'm staying here until the end. I'm just not going to do the interviews.
I'm already giving you a thank you anyways, because we are under that 30 lap to go mark, and man, dude,
not much is happening.
Not the day that I'm only seeing 3 cars on track. Where is that 76 car? Did Jones disconnect?
Well, that's not ideal.
I think he did disconnect.
But hey, there is one more thing to talk about.
Absolutely, bring it
Um,
up.
What?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Frank Skimmerhorn now has the Hard Charger Award because he's moved up 3 spots.
Absolutely, and that would be his second of the season.
Yes. I think like you said, he just stays in these races and is consistent. I think he's a good contender for the top of the point sheet. I don't know, like I really want to I want to push one of the guys that doesn't have a win yet to the win in Atlanta. I think that would be really fun.
Frank.
Just to get one of them a win, you know.
I would love to
Um,
see Frank Skimmerhorn in victory lane because I will tell you this right now. I've known Frank for a couple of years now, raced with him in many different leagues, and he is such a humble person that he, if he did win, he'd be the modest winner of all time. That's just who Frank
for
is,
sure.
but I would still love to see that man stand on the top step of the podium.
Absolutely. I think Atlanta's a good place to try and do that. Hey, next week, I mean, I think I don't remember if it was Hardy or I don't know who said it, but they said that they were really good at Chicago. I haven't done any racing there myself because I don't have the track. I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to be decent at it because I'm good at road courses, but you never. I could have a disaster, and like one of these other guys could win. You know?
Well, I will let you know. Next week at the Chicago Street Course, it is bumpier than bumpy.
Is it like worse than Rockingham?
Way worse.
That should be manageable though because it's a road course and you're going a lot slower. I think. So
No, you hit about 160 down the straightaways.
yeah, down the straights, but like in those technical sections that when you need the speed to be lower and the bumps are there.
So when you
I
go
think
down
it's-
Michigan Avenue,
Yeah.
you have those two left-hand complexes that make the square. Those are the slowest parts, but even then, turn 11's the slowest when you go 35 miles an hour. So
Yeah.
you can go slow, but at the same time, it's a fast track. I think like lap times are only like a minute 12, minute 13, somewhere around there.
That sounds about right. I don't
So, I
remember.
mean,
it's not.
It's a fast circuit.
It's not a long course either. It's
No, I think it's just over a mile and a quarter, or mile and a half, somewhere around
let
there.
me look it up.
I know it's not very long. Sorry for my
It's
cat meowing.
about a 2.2 mile track.
Okay, so it's 2.2 mile.
And 12 turns. Lap times are about a minute 30.
Okay, so a minute 30. Okay.
Minute 30 for SVG, so about a minute 32 for everybody else.
Still, that's pretty fast for a road course, like a street circuit that's on city streets.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I mean, you're my pick to win it. I mean, you're very good at road courses. Obviously, if anybody tuned in to watch that Bathurst 1000 that we did a while back now, Alex is always a contender. Anybody in the series will tell you that Alex is being modest when he says, I don't know if I'll win this week when it's a road course.
Because I mean I'm like genuinely being serious because I've never ran the track in my life before. Because like Watkins, obviously I've ran it a lot in F4 GTs, like NASCAR. The trucks at Watkins Glen are my favorite combo in the trucks. Some of the best racing in my opinion there you can get, just like from a pure racing standpoint. But just I've never ran the Chicago Street Course before. So I don't know what it's gonna be like. I'm definitely gonna buy it tonight and start doing some laps because I need the practice. I think.
Well, you let me know. I might get on and join you to do some laps around there because I need to test out these new setups to see how this feels.
For sure.
But yeah, as we approach that, as we already crossed over that 20 to go, we're gonna step aside for a moment and say hello to our sponsors. We haven't done that in quite some time. Sorry. It's been a while since I had a drink of water, so give me 2 seconds and we'll get through with our sponsors.
There's not much to talk about. I think if Fox went to commercial at this point, people wouldn't be too mad. I don't know if there'd be anybody to watch. I don't know how these grandsons are so full.
I have no idea. But exciting to see a couple people in the chats. Unfortunately, I don't have my phone up. It's on the charger. Otherwise, I would be chatting with you guys. The three of you that are
It's
strong fans,
yeah.
appreciate it. I
It's
really
me,
do.
Jeff, and my girlfriend.
I will tell you
Me,
this right
Jeff.
now
Yeah.
from a guy who never had inspiration and a desire to do YouTube and to do any type of this thing. The fact that I have as many people that I do week in and week out, I'm trying not to cry, but seriously, from like the bottom of my heart, this has been some of the most amazing things I've done in my life, and I can't do it without you guys. The support you give to my channel, the support you give to these drivers. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Seriously, thank you. We'll start.
For sure.
We'll start our going off by Brantley Bryant's designs, his paint shop. So I am sorry for saying photography early, Brantley, if you are watching the stream. So if you need paints, go ahead up over to him. He'll hook you
Need
up. He does
pants?
paint. Huh?
You said pants.
He paints. Sorry. It's been a long day. Also, our friends over at the Southern Speed Shop for making all of this possible. Um, I know Dustin's hard at work at making the best possible setups we can, and in the new year, I can vouch for this is that we will be expanding to cover a lot more cars and a lot more divisions. So stick tuned for more to come from the Southern Speed Shop. And of course, Sam Hardy over there at HMS Propane and Natural Gas Accessories. Go ahead and give them a call or email today, and they will get you serviced good to go, and so you do not have to freeze in this cold weather that's about to happen. And last but not least, before we go to our iRacing, our friends over at Outcast, Alex, you can vouch for this. This is probably some of the funnest group of guys you can be around in Outcast Motorsports. Amazing
Absolutely.
group, fun. We never have a dull moment. Our Discord is always bustling. If you want a fun group, guys that just, shoot the shit and have fun, go head over to Outcast Motorsports Discord. You won't regret it, I promise you. And last but not least, to wrap up our sponsors for today, iRacing.com. Thank you for iRacing for making all this possible week in and week out. Time and time again, it is the holiday season, so if you or anyone that you know wants to get involved in iRacing, head over to iRacing.com and get your 25% off renewal right now at iRacing.com and 50% off for new subscribers. And don't forget your referral code so you can get money to spend on all your merchandise and cars, tracks, you name it, over at iRacing.com. So thank you for iRacing for making all this possible. And a huge shout out to you, Alex, for joining the booth this afternoon.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here.
As we didn't miss much here, with
Yeah,
with
we
12 to
missed
go
much.
here at Michigan, as the sun is slowly starting to set here, I can slowly see the shadows start to take over here. Now, Alex, a couple weeks back, we had a similar race that happened with the shadows and everything a couple weeks back. When the shadows start happening, when you get this late into the day, is there enough time in transition period when the sun's starting to set that you can tell the car is changing, or does it just take too long and you don't really notice?
If it depends, honestly, I think if you change tires, because the tires they'll still feel like old tires even if it's getting the track is getting cooler, it's getting better. But if you once you switch tires, you'll feel the difference, you'll definitely feel faster, you'll run faster, you'll just get in better shape. In Charlotte, it was kind of the opposite because, even though I know where we run fixed setups, but I set my car up to be really loose because in the night it does get tight, but it is very grippy. It's very you have to kind of force the car to slide, and I was running +10 offset because I thought it was gonna be night the whole time. Somebody put it at 4x times speed, and we ended up doing the first Charlotte 24. I don't I don't know what that one was. Um, it was the craziest race I've ever done. I've never had a day race in iRacing. Not even like I haven't done any of the endurance stuff.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's nothing like going from daylight to dark to daylight. It is, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
it's something, man. I did the 24 a couple years back, and I nobody on my team at the time was very comfortable with the night driving, and so I did the night driving, and one of our guys had some connectivity issues. About an hour 21, I was already supposed to be out of the car, and I jumped in as the sun was starting to rise over the Daytona International Speedway, and man, I don't know if it's just me, but it was gorgeous. Like watching that sun start.
Sunrises in iRacing, for some reason, they make the sunrises look a lot better than the sunsets. Like
Yeah.
the sunsets, they look good, but they're not to the same like level of detail as the sunrises are. At least from what I've
Absolutely.
noticed. I don't know why that is. I think they definitely need to think. I think it might just be the angle that some of the tracks are at. Like the sunsets just don't look as appealing, you know.
Yeah, and as we've just been talking about it, I mean, you can visually see on the screen about how much darker it's really getting here, lap after lap. I mean, the shadows are looming, especially when you hit 3 and 4, you start to see the shadows, and it's it's getting dark here at Michigan with only 7 laps to go here. You can really see as he goes by the start finish line how much of this track is actually covered by shadow. That's a pretty good chunk of that front stretch. Um, it. I know that as a race car driver, you want to go where the shadows are because that's where the grip is because the track is cooler. But when you get to this stage of the race and the sun is setting, depending on where it is, and I think here is probably a good idea because it's like really behind the grandstands are so massive. You don't really get blinded too much, maybe a little bit off of 4. But talk to me about what you do and how you would have to adjust behind the wheel when it does become this type of conditions.
Um, to be honest, I don't. I mean, like I notice it just a tiny bit. It's not the biggest thing. It really gets bad once, or not bad, but like it really changes once the whole track is in the shade and in the or like a whole turn, you know? Because like there's always with the billboards and stuff some of the parts of the track that are in the shade and are a little bit cooler. And with the dynamic tracks and stuff that they have now, it's definitely there's a difference, but I don't think it's enough to like make you change your line. The only thing I could really think of in terms of line changing might be the like high line at like Chicago and Charlotte because it's so bumpy. As we see it, we have a bit of a battle
For
for
second.
second place.
Oh no. We will see. Can Frank hold on for 5 more circuits here? 10 more miles of racing from this high banked, high speed racetrack. Is Hardy looking on the outside? Frank Skimmerhorn under attack for the second spot. This is for position, even though they are a lap down. Will Hardy? Yes, Hardy will go take it on the inside. Gets that side draft. Gonna suck the 54 back to him. Gonna slingshot around. That's the third or fourth time we've seen him be able to do that, Alex. Like, how do you do that as a race car driver? Like, is it just timing or is it just you just know what your car has?
Apparently that wasn't for position.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I heard you talking about it. Apparently Frank is still a lap ahead. I don't know how
Oh.
that worked out.
I
think
don't know
something-
either.
Oh, it was because it's the difference. It's not Hardy's 2 laps down.
Oh,
Frank's
Hardy is
1 lap
2
down.
lap down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he was a lap down to Frank. Now he's okay. Got it. My
Yeah,
apologies.
it-
So Frank Skimmerhorn still is in second spot. So Frank.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
we had that's on me.
As
thought
Frank
we had something
Skimmerhorn
going on.
down on the apron, he's got a pit with 3 to go. This will give Hardy that spot with being on pit road.
It might not because if Frank only takes like a gallon or what he needs, he might not lose all those. He's gonna lose a lot. He's not gonna lose all 30 seconds. I don't think though.
I don't know. That gap between Dustin and Frank is approaching. If I were Frank Schermerhorn with only like 4 laps to go, I would put 2 gallons in that tank and call it a day. And he's got to get it back up to speed. He parks it perfectly in that spot. Little bit of fuel. Oh, it's a longer pit stop than I would have liked for Frank Schermerhorn. Now he most likely, Alex, unfortunately, will lose this second spot to the 17 car. But the question is, does the 17 and our race leader have enough fuel to... Ooh, Frank Schermerhorn. That might be a black flag for Frank going across. Oh, as he goes over it again. Possibly a black flag for Frank, because that happened to Dylan Gonez earlier.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. And unfortunately, that he is going to concede that spot to the 17 car.
Well, the good news is if he can't lose any more of them.
Yeah, all right. As now our new second place driver, 2 stinking laps behind our race leader, a 52 car. And it does look like the 52 car is going to make it on fuel. Now the question is, does our second place driver have enough fuel in the tank? As Frank has just said, yep, I'm just going to finish third. Now does the 17 have enough as we are on our final lap? Does he have enough fuel to make it around one more time? As our race leader coming off a turn 2 for the final time down that long, wide backstretch here at Michigan International Speedway. Still looking good for that second spot of Hardy, even though that time is coming down ever so slightly. No, he is still under power. That 17 is still under power.
He loses a little bit on entry, I think.
As your race leader, the 52 of Brantley Bryant, week number 2 since we've been back in a row. Now this battle for second is down to the wire, and it does look like that 17 has enough fuel, and he will finish on the second stop. There he goes. Second spot of your podium, followed by the 54, Frank Schermerhorn, and unfortunately James Jones will be 4th. 5th place qualifiers Jerome Cooper, followed by in 6th place Dylan Gonez, and rounding out the top 7, not making a lap, would be Curtis Thomas. Good racing though. It was to be expected with a small field, Alex, of just, a lot of green, not a lot of cautions, and
also I think Frank had a black flag because it says he's finishing 37 seconds behind Dustin.
Yes, he did have a black flag. He got penalized for going, like I thought, going above that yellow line, trying to keep that second spot, as we see the 52 light the rear tires up on that. Hits the wall, and the only damage on that car all race long. Good heads-up race. It was long. It was boring, but we weren't gonna, cancel or postpone it. It was just too late.
I wish y'all. I know. I wish y'all had maybe waited a little bit, but I'm not mad or anything. Good on Brantley for getting this done. Happy for him. Happy for Dustin finishing second after those fuel problems, and then Frank.
He ran out twice, Alex, in this race. He ran out fuel twice.
He almost lost 2 laps the second time. It was crazy.
And unfortunately, Alex, we'll let you go for the evening. Like I said, thank you, brother, for having an entertainment last 100 laps with me in the last hour and a half, and been fun to catch up, just shooting the shit with you as we watch these guys lap after lap. So huge shout out to you, and I look forward to seeing what you can do at the streets of Chicago next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to racing there next week, and I will talk to you guys later. Congratulations, Brantley. I will see y'all later. Bye.
Bye. All right, and with that, we were going to pull in Mr. Frank Schermerhorn, P3.
Hello, sir.
You were Alex picked to spoil it all if something were to happen.
Well, I was hoping for some fuel problems, but I was the one that was running out of fuel.
Yeah, I know, and unfortunately, it looked like what a little black flag, just a little too aggressive
Correct.
that last stop and go.
Yep, trying to get out there and get in front of Hardy and push it too hard.
Well, Frank, I say this week in and week out, man. You are the most consistent racer in this series. You are always in the top 5 week in and week out, some way, some form, unless something happens. Like it's always an honor to see you on the podium, and you still have a shot in the points being so consistent. So how does that feel?
It's wonderful. I'm definitely not as good as these guys, but being consistent has got me where I'm at. So we'll
Well,
see how it
I
goes.
will tell you this first and foremost from a guy who's raced with you in a couple leagues the past year and a half. You have improved so much that I don't even think I could keep up with your ass anymore.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
It's been a while, and I'm looking forward to getting back out on track with you next season. I promise. I won't
Yeah.
be in the booth next season, unfortunately. For everybody watching, I will be on track. So it's been fun. It's been an interesting ride. So Frank, I know you. We pulled you in for the mid race. Did the car feel any different? The more rubber that got laid down?
Yes, and I changed up some lines, and it got a little better. There for a while, I could hang with them, but then they just start walking away from me. So
Hey, you know what? You still finished P3rd, and you and Brantley this week are going to be the hard chargers because you guys moved up. And unfortunately, I wish I could say it was going to be a three-way to that, but unfortunately, Cooper was not on track.
right.
So you and Brantley both get the hard charger again, and I believe is that your second or third this season? I think it's your second
For
in a
sure, it's
row.
yeah, second in a row. So
So I mean, you keep it up. I'm going to be making an announcement by the end of the week that I have a little something up my sleeve for the person who has the most fast charger awards. So stay tuned for that, there, buddy, because you're in the running for it.
sounds good, man.
Alrighty, Frank Schimmerhorn, your P3 driver here at a very fast Michigan International Speedway. Dustin Hardy, the P2 driver of the afternoon.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so talk to me. I know it kind of was a long race, not with a lot of people, but now that you put in a couple hundred laps here with the new updates and stuff, how you feeling? Are you feeling a little bit more confident going in the rest of the season now, or?
Oh yeah, I mean next week I've got a lot of practice at Chicago. I ran a another league uh, like year back last year or something like that. Ran like 5 races at Chicago. Ran pretty decent, so I'm pretty confident going into Chicago street course. Just keep it in between the navigational beacons, and I should be up front.
Absolutely, and me and Alex were talking about it's going to be exciting to see what you guys can do next week. With the bumpy streets of Chicago, and I know you needed this after the past month that you've had for the season. So congratulations on getting to the podium and actually finishing, a decent race this week. So huge shout out to what you were able to accomplish.
Yeah, wish I would have paid more attention and not ran out of gas, but it is what it is.
Yeah, run out of gas twice. I can understand once, but twice?
Yeah, running my mouth, boring race, and totally forgot to look down.
That's when you just need one of those fuel gauge lights on your setup, that blinks in your face, say,
Ye-
"Hey."
Yeah, all of this crap I got aren't to have one.
Well, you needed this. You'll get a good point stay out of this, and I know I can't wait to see what happens next week because it's going to be entertaining, and hopefully everybody that couldn't join us this week will join us next week for Chicago. And to Mr. Jeff, if you're still watching, we missed you out here, buddy, and hopefully you can make it next week. So look forward to seeing what all the guys can do this week. And we're gonna leave you in here. We're gonna pull Brantley in here because it's always entertaining when you two are in the booth at the same time. So we're gonna
Yeah,
pull our.
that and I'm trying to update the points, so maybe I'll have it done before then.
All right, and our winner, to no surprise, week 2 in a row, Brantley Bryant. Now,
How's it go?
it's going. That second half of the race, it was pretty much yours to lose at that point. Thoughts after you got a couple hundred more laps here on this new configuration and new setup on iRacing? How do you think it's going to go here on out?
Definitely felt more stable. I felt like it wasn't as tight. I don't know if it was the line I was running since I was saving fuel and everything, clutching in, and honestly, clutching in, kind of letting it coast into the corner, and then as soon as I let the clutch out, it kind of hooked and turned and set up the exit. So that's really what helped me tonight.
So the tricks, ladies and gentlemen, how he was able to get about 2.5 more laps of fuel out of his fuel tank. A little bit of.
He was picking me off with that.
Yeah. I'd ask old Dustin here. I'm like, all right, how many laps of fuel I got?
10.
I got like 5 gallons left, and I'm like 6.6.
No, don't you lie. He said, how many laps of fuel you got left? 26.
No, I mean it was. I could see. I mean.
You take the kids.
And I'll say this. Watching you two go at it is always entertaining. It looked. So take us through as the race was ending and the shadows were kind of taking over the track. Did you have to adjust your line at all, or not as much?
I feel like later on, track got a little more grit, so I could actually let the clutch out a little sooner, especially there at the end where I know I was good on fuel at the end, so
yeah,
I started pushing a little bit at the end. Well, I will say, when I went in for tires and fuel for the last time, and I got back out on track, Dustin ran the quickest lap of the race, and I said, can't let him have it. So then I went out there and ran 2 laps as hard as I could and ended up getting it. So
was that before you passed Frank Skimmerhorn again?
It was after I passed him. I started setting the good laps.
Nice. We thought in the booth, me and Alex thought you were going to let Frank have his lap back, and then you're like, nope, psych.
Yeah, I was just sitting there. I was gonna ride, let the tires heat up, and I was gonna go after it. So.
Well, it was.
So.
Go ahead.
So I just updated the points. I had to do it old school way because SimRacer Hub, I guess, is messing up with the update. So, got it in there. I'm within. If I got all the bonus points and everything, I would at Chicago, and I win. I would be ahead of Alex. So right now, I'm sitting 51 points behind Alex. Frank moved up to third, 37 points, or 88 points behind Alex. Brantley's in fourth now, moved up 2 spots, 102 points out. James stayed in fifth, 112 points out, and Jeff dropped back 3 spots to 117 points back.
Oh wow. I wasn't kidding when I told Frank he could still. Here's the one thing that people don't understand about Frank. Even though he hasn't won a race, because of his consistency, he could still potentially be the upset. He could.
This is the crazy thing about Frank. And I'm looking at stats right now. The whole season, he's ran every race. He's had 5 top 5s, no wins, 9 top 10s. He's only led 1 lap and had 2 podiums and 1 pole, and he's 3rd place in the points.
That's, and this far into the season, I want to reiterate, that is impressive. It goes to show you that you don't have to be winning week in and week out to potentially be like, hey, I have a chance to win the championship. And being only, what do you say, 81 points behind?
88, yeah.
So 88 points, and that's only a race and a half behind first place. So no, not to wish thinking put this in existence, but you yourself, who's ahead of him, and could potentially have like you've been not to bring up the past month, but you could have a month like you've had again, after we come back from Christmas break, and you could potentially lose that spot to Frank, who's been consistent.
100%.
So
100%.
it's a thing about this league. Why I think it's one of the better leagues.
HDMI.
Okay, HDMI, thank you. Why I always say, if you want a league, and I try to promote it as much as I can on social media, that this league is probably one of the few leagues that you don't know who's gonna win. Like, there's not a clear cut like this person's got it in the bag. Like it's up to 3 drivers that are all within a race and a half.
Or
4.
Yeah,
Sorry,
really
Brantley.
really
I forgot
four or
about
five,
you.
yeah.
I forgot.
still there.
I forgot. But like, so that somebody
We
who was
try to
Frank.
forget about him.
It's kind of hard when he puts on a fucking ass kicking.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Brantley has been known when he does win, it's not by a little, it's by a lot.
Oh yeah.
So he's always a contender, and now going into a road course next week. You two talk me about being behind the wheel and being in the championship hunt into a road course start in the second half of the season. What is your guys' mindset knowing that race could have serious championship implications?
Honestly, I mean, if the reality of it is, if me and Alex stay consistent and don't let Brantley finish too far ahead of us, he's not going to win it. Now, on the other hand, if Alex has a bad race next week, I could potentially move into first, and that'll change it all up right there. But also, the races after that, Alex could easily come back and pick it back up from me because I would only be a couple points ahead of him. But I mean, me and Alex has just got, and Frank. Well, not really Frank because Brantley's gonna outrun him every week pretty much. Same with me and Alex, honestly. But Frank stays consistent. He could finish in the top 5 at least, if not further up. Because I mean, he's very consistent. But it's probably gonna boil down to me, Alex, and Brantley, possibly James. But I mean, me and Alex have just gotta keep Brantley in our sights. If we can do that, he's not gonna pass us. He might catch up to us, but he's not gonna catch us. But
All right,
and the
Brantley.
other thing is we gotta make every race.
Absolutely, Brantley. Now I'll ask you that same question that I asked Dustin. With that road course being in the second half of the season, what is your mentality about that, and how does that play into your strategy?
Um, honestly, I don't favor Chicagoland or Chicago Street Course. Not my favorite track. But I think I gotta boil down to 3 things. Don't die, keep your nose clean, and if you got a wreck Dustin.
I was
But-
thinking the same
but-
thing about you.
but I didn't. But I don't recall saying that.
Oh, okay, but it is going to be all on the internet that you just said that, so
Well,
Yeah,
even if I said it, I don't recall it.
yeah, easy, Jim Frank.
But no, I think next week's gonna be interesting. I'm not the fastest at a street course, but I feel like I'm more consistent than I am fast at just road courses in general. I think Chicago's maybe one of my better ones because of the fact that it's so dynamic and a lot can happen in a short amount of time. So I think if I just just take my time and not really try and rush into a corner or try and rush and pass somebody, the more time you take around especially a street course, honestly, the more time you take, the better it's going to be for you. You ain't got to stress as much. You ain't got to put as much will into it. You kind of just cruise around and ride like you're actually going around the street and stay on your side of the lane. So
Absolutely, it's gonna be interesting to see who all makes it next week for that let's just be all honest. It's a fast, but it has its challenging sections, and so it's going to be interesting, especially when you go up over the train, back out on Marine Michigan Avenue. It's going to be interesting. I look forward to seeing what you guys can do, and yeah, we'll see all of you guys watching next week. Once again, this is Woodman a production of Wilkes Productions. Thank you for tuning in here from the Michigan International Speedway. Thank you very much, and we will see you again next week.